What up, Raider Nation? How you doing, man? Coach Gravy's out here right now, and this getting ready to be noon, a ways away from noon, but brunch, Gravy with brunch. Seeing what's up. Uh, what glad to be here this morning. Had some things to do. Wanted to get on about 10 o'clock, but I had to watch the Dion thing, and so unfortunate for that guy. But if y'all don't know about that, but hey, man, in the balling out. Had a wonderful show yesterday with my guys, with Lowe and I gave. Then got cut off a little bit early and wanted to say a little bit more about it. Um, let me know if you guys can hear me, and let me know if you guys can, my mic is cool. Had to adjust some things a little bit. I haven't been on since last night, but it's been the same way. So just let me know what's going on and stuff. But got some homies out here, homies already in here. What up, Omar, man? You probably over there pumping that iron, boy. Looking good, bro. I like to see that shit. Looking good. Keep getting bigger. Max out every day. That's what I tell. I'm not bueno. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. And my boy Omar, man. The early risers, man. Have been here with Gravy on the brunch tip. Like I said, man, got all my things done today. Uh, uh, Had to go do some medical stuff. Every morning's medical stuff. Went on a good little walk. It's nice weather out here in Fresno right now. Unseasonal weather we have. I just got back from a great camping trip with my family, and it was great. So on that note, man, today I heard some early shows already going on. They're excited. We're really excited. We're getting it pumping up with things about Paz being on today. I have a different view of Paz. Hey, it's very exciting. I'm not going to take anything away from that. Raiders are ready. Um, the things that I hear are, hey, everybody's saying it. I would say it. I'm guilty. Does happen, but pretty much at this stage, I'm thinking, we're gonna have uh, some guys that are gonna come in and ball out and get ready to uh, gonna make a presence in the camp and do things that are gonna open up some eyes and being. But I hate to break it to you guys, that pretty much the battles that I see going on in training camp right now, that everybody's, our coach is a competition guy. He's saying this, and we took heed to it a lot, and it's everywhere. It's on every team. Competition is on every team, but it's keeping in mind here that pretty much the roster and the coach's eyes, it's not set in stone, but is set. I think pretty much where the battle's at is our guard positions, and that's very very important right there. As far as we're concerned, the battle for those guard spots are, is tough to see. You know, if you're not, some people are not. You know, the guys that are there, fans of them, and like I'm always saying, hey, let's go get somebody. If you were on the Raider Nation live show, last night with my boy What Up Low and Raider Gay 420. Those are my boys right there. We have a great show, man. Raider Nation live. We're getting back into business. We're getting back into it. Starting to strive a little bit. We took a little break, because there really wasn't nothing going on except for me bitching. But I'm over that. Last year was last year, and I need to adapt. And I got to tell myself that I need to adapt. That we do have better coaching staff. We do have somewhat better players, and so-called, that we improved on things. But what I want to say is, and what I want to let you guys know is that I'm not enthusiastic. It's the beginning of the season. We're gonna be ready for these pads, and we're gonna be saying, "Oh, that this is a man amongst these dudes know what they're doing." It's not peewees. It's not. It's not college anymore, and you got to learn now. The adjustments of the playbook, from what I heard, and I got friends that played in. The playbook is in. The mainstay of the playbook is in. The You just adjusting the things and filling out that, like, your role has been already established, and then the way you play and the way you do things is that your production is going to be more expected. So pretty much our roster is going to be what it is, unless we have, there is going to be some surprises of young guys coming in. They have a role to do, as far as, but I'm expecting the higher picks to make an impact. Got my coffee on a late day, man. On Mondays, a pill day. My pills are a little bit later. I take more of them, so my coffee, I can't blend the caffeine with it until later. So my coffee, I need that shit. I'll get a headache, just like my stogie. But we all gotta adapt and get ready. I'm gonna put some comments that my boys were up here saying they're real good. And my boy Omar, first day of pads, Wilkins, Chef kissing motherfucker heads. Let's go. Yeah, that Wilkins situation, I could go at that with length. You know, I'm starting to hear some real funny shit about him, but I don't care anymore. We just what we should be worried about is who's gonna do what he does. He's the type we could say he didn't do shit for us, but he did, in my view. He was important to our team, no matter what he did. His production, the minimal time it was. Us Raider fans can say fuck him. He ain't here no more. Forget his shit. But we don't got nobody that's like him on our team at all. So that's why he got paid 100 million. We didn't overpay him. He was that type guy. So we just didn't look further enough. He wasn't this regime's type guy, but And Omar again, if it feels the same way I do, is that I'm still waiting for another splash sign and maybe another D line player or receiver. I'm in that same boat, Omar. I was saying that last night, bro, um, on our Raider Nation live show, man. Check that out. Um, we need to replace our defensive line, and we need to get. There ain't nobody out there. We need to do something as far as we have money and we got assets for next year, and when we get pampered with draft picks and draft, we're going to be a better team. And the lower we pick, no one's going to want these 26 picks. We get that good. No one's going to want that. No one's going to want to trade with the Raiders because our picks are going to get lower. You understand what I mean, guys? So if we get better, which I see us doing, but we took a little step back because we lost Christian Wilkins. We lost him. It went back. And as far as receivers concerned, it's like, damn, man, I just, I got people that agree with me that I'm not, I'm not saying that, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna say, you know what, we would sit here and say, hey, I expect Thornton to do good. I'm not a big time Thornton guy. I wasn't when he was in college. I thought that our vision was elsewhere, but we needed a rangy, lanky, long, taller receiver. There was a bunch of them in there, but the speed, I guess, was an option for this guy. And the receptions, big play guy in college. Um, I understand why we got him then. Um, I understand why we ended up picking him, but we're not talking about the asset, and I'm not expecting Thornton to do as much than I would Besh do as much. Besh was picked at a position to where he's expected to play or expected to do things, and if we go into the season saying, well, he needs to learn, and you're gonna adapt to the pro game, and it's way tougher, especially as a receiver. I would be more lenient to a receiver or a DB, because there's a lot that you have to learn, or a center, or an offensive lineman, especially if you're a rookie quarterback. It's going to be crazy. We would have picked a rookie quarterback and he was playing starting. I would expect the dude just to go ape shit and mess up. I wouldn't expect a Jaden Daniels type situation because that's why I just didn't know that we would do something like that. We would get a player like that. But as far as Betts is concerned, I don't think we're talking about him enough. And I try to bring him up on shows that I'm on, and nobody. We always go back to Thornton because he's the bigger guy, flashier guy, but we don't see 26 receptions. The 600 yards is very impressive, very impressive. Big play potential. The dude that the go-to guy on Tennessee, massively over than Thornton, massively receptions. And the more you're doing more, but you're getting more as far as Thornton's. I think that production as far as yards is going to go down way more because you gotta your skill set in the NFL is going to be way different than just running fades and doing things like that. Now I heard today, I seen it on that he had a bomb, a good nice little bomb there, and what I do is I mentioned it last night is that what I do is that I'm hearing that a lot. And now am I tripping out or you guys agree with me that we have Thornton and Thornton wasn't really, a high as far as professionals are concerned, and drafting players, you know, he wasn't really a high person to pick. He wasn't really on the radar of saying, uh, "Hey, man, we got to. This guy's a Cam Miz." You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really like that. We could be honest with that. Bueno D-Mokes, what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Hey, my boy Mike at Raw Nation National Official. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful birthday, man. My opinion, what's up, man? Dixon Sider, what's up? I meant to say Dixon. What's up? D-Mokes, my boy, what's going on? Thanks for being here this morning. Soul, what's up, man? I haven't seen you in a minute, bro. I thought you didn't like me no more. What's going on? There we go. Wilton, I'm not bueno. Said Wilkin had to clear up his body, or he was talking all that shit about him, man. So, yeah, he doing. I guess of some weird stuff. We're gonna move on, but the thing is that I'm gonna say we'll move on, Mike. But we ain't got nobody like that, and we're gonna see the effects of it. We always do. It happened, and I just hope that it's not that bad. You know, the guys that we have to replace the dude is not, in my book. Um, and you know, like I said, we went on a 10-game losing streak when this dude was out, and then Max got hurt, and then Coons wasn't there. But then we're just going to go back to the same old shit that we've been doing for the last couple of years, and we're just depending on Max. Max is the only proven guy on that offense. I mean, that defense that does anything on that defense. My opinion. Here we go, buddy. We don't know yet until we see it on other defensive tackles. That's what's gonna happen. But just knowing that Christian Wilkins will be there will give me more. You know, we are wait and see, hoping and wishing like I've been doing for 25 years, bro. Opinion, you know that, man. You know I'm done with that shit. I'm done with it. There we go. Saul, what's up, man? Just having Thornton taking the top of the defense, open things up way up about it. He will. He will. We got the same speed. We got the same speed with Tucker, and he's more in like knowing what's up. It's gonna take Thornton time to learn, and I don't want to see that on the field. You know, if he's right, put him in. If he's not, then don't, because he's gonna make mistakes. And I don't know. I don't know if everybody's with me, but I'm in win now mode. And if the team's not in win now mode, then it's gonna be a disappointment to me. But I don't hear nobody saying, "Oh, wait and see." We got to do. The coaches are going to go on these interview. I mean, pressers, and they're going to say, "Oh, this guy's balling. This guy's doing great." They're not going to break down and say, "Oh, he's doing things wrong. He's learning." But as a coach, you can hear things like I said last night. I heard Pete Carroll say, you know, they tell you the PR people, especially like in JUCO, they tell you don't say somebody is young and they're learning. Don't say that if you're starting them, if they're gonna play, because that just people will eat it up and say, look, they're not gonna be that good. You're not confident in that. What up, Steve DeLuna, Bruce Davis, Wilkinson, bro? We don't have no Wilkinson on our team. Everybody's been saying that. Yeah, Mike Sam stuff. I didn't know about nothing about gay and stuff, but he's doing some crazy, wild stuff. Hope one of our rookies can fill in. Wickers didn't have much of an impact for the 5 games he played for. I don't know how many sacks we had. We had 2 wins. I don't know how decisive they were. One of them was against a good team, and I think when we played Baltimore, it wasn't no surprise that we physical. We were a physical team, bro. We out physical a Baltimore team, and he's a part of that. That he solidified those sacks that Max got. I think he had 2 sacks that game. He sacked Jackson. PK knows what he's doing. I hope he does. I know he does, bro. I'm not questioning that. How you doing, Licky, my boy? What's up, bro? If I missed it, man, I'm sorry. I'll get back to you. Bruce Davis, what's up? And my other concerns last night, I said why Raiders front office not getting more guys on defense, but some reason they haven't. I don't know what their plan is, or something like that. I don't know if this. I don't think that they had to have a plan for it because it wasn't. If he was, it ain't gonna be just one time. He's not taking his rehab. He's been on rehab for fucking months. So if he wasn't into it, and I think there's way more, bro. I think there's a lot to this, and I think there's it's gonna be. We're gonna hear a lot more, and not just like the weird shit. I think his rehab is like he didn't want to do it. You know, if he's that type guy to where he's a money dude and he's a diva out big guy, then he doesn't really have the a big big hardware to do that. He's been in the Pro Bowl, he's that type guy. But we don't have anybody like that else. The production we're gonna just wait and see, and what we've been doing the last years, and then we get motivated, we get pumped up with the young guys, the new guys. Someone's gonna stand out. How great! I want to see that. Okay, we were going into this season. Wilkins out, man. He's gonna play, and then we get this old setback, and things are gonna and being that way. Oh, we're gonna give him some time, and then we were just cool for sitting him another year, getting paid all his money. I questioned that. I said, nah, bro, this dude should be done already with all this shit. So then, in the back of my mind, I wasn't saying nothing, and this is the truth. I wasn't saying I wasn't making this shit up. Is that if you're gonna be here, and not rehab an injury that you didn't even, you made a play and then you were just fucking around and you got that you owe this organization some shit for fucking around. And I know it was Adam Butler, but you a habit of doing that. You have a habit of fucking around and doing dumb shit after a play, and everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. So either it was you had it coming, or we should have known better, or whatever. But we can't say we can't say that it wasn't expected because this is it's not a surprise to me that it happened. It's just a surprise that it went about it this way. And then why didn't we prepare ourselves for that? We think that Jonah Lalu is going to be. I know a lot of people are pumped up for him, but he's not Christian Wilkins. And and we're in a mode to where he could develop and be a Christian Wilkins. Fine, think that way. But right now, it's not. And then we already are going into this. Well, let him try a couple games out. I'm not with that, and I'm gonna stand by that, and I'm gonna be that way. If you don't like it, then fuck. I don't know what to tell you guys, but that's the way I'm gonna be. I was told in the beginning of this, don't lie to me again, like I was lied to last year. I'm tired of that shit. I was lied to last year saying we're gonna run the football, we're gonna do this, we're gonna fucking do that, and just because it's Pete Carroll, I don't care. I don't care if it's Pete Carroll that he's gonna do things and switch shit around. We didn't do enough to be better, to me. So what we could everybody that comes to the Raiders, they're gonna ball out all of a sudden. And we're still saying 3 years later that Tyree Wilson's gonna fucking finally be a good player. Fuck, he should have been that when we got him, where he was picked. Oh, he gonna blossom now. Tyree Wilson, he's getting. I heard Patrick Graham today yesterday. He said, well, he's getting or his whatever the fuck the coach. I think it was Patrick Graham, and I didn't really like us bringing him back. I said it last night too. Yeah, so I'm gonna move on. What's good, my boy? My boy Jers, man. Thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for being here, man. They voided his money. But that's the way I'm rolling right now, guys. Is that during this time, yeah, it's easy to be pumped up and saying everybody's gonna ball out. I don't want to be sour, man. I was saying that, but I got problems with this move that we didn't do something or prepare ourselves. We knew that this dude was hurt, and we knew it's not no secret or real quick thing that he was in. You wouldn't get rid of a guy like that if he just had a video dancing around and shit. He didn't get hurt doing that. So it was something else that convinced me that it was something else. Even if it was some crazy shit, weird shit that people are saying about it. We're just trying to cover it up. But you can't cover up them sacks that he got, not with us. After never try to sign big name for another team, only pay the great one. Mm-hmm. But my opinion, check this out, bro. If we had a coach that was young, and we were bringing him up, and we were doing things like that, and we were saying, hey, uh, we're gonna make this around you, and we're gonna give you a couple years and things like that. I'll be good with Lalu and the young guys we have. But this is not what I heard from Pete Carroll in the beginning, bro. I heard I ain't got time for this shit. You know what I mean? And who's the successor for this guy? You know, he could change the culture and make it good, but I don't think that we're gonna have you know a staple. We got 2 more years of doing this, but I don't want to wait another year, bro. I don't want to wait another year. I want now. He was refusing the surgery, but the Raiders. I don't got that information, so but thank you for it. I just know he's not here no more, bro. And we had a problem with he had a problem with doing rehab. That's known. ESPN said that. Other people saying that. And my love. Hold on a second, guys, real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Wifey called. Can't miss that phone call. She'll be blowing me up. But anyways, yeah. So we got to move on, bro. I'm with that. I'm with that, bro. Want players that want to give it all 100. I'm with that, Mike. Good job. I'm with that. But you know what, man? I'm just hearing a lot. I'm not. Fuck. I don't want to sound like a. Well, first of all, you guys know when you're with Gravy, the Disney Channel and shit, right? You want that shit? It's not that gonna be the Disney. I'm gonna well, the way I feel and the way I'm gonna process my way that I'm thinking is that I'm not gonna be the same way as everybody else, and I'm not just wanting to do that. I want to give my opinion the way I feel about it, and I don't think that we got other guys that could do what Wilkins did. But see, now we're just saying Christian Wilkins didn't do nothing when we were there, and did you watch Christian Wilkins on the tape? Have you seen his tape and what he did? How many double teams he took? So that Max Crosby got those maybe a sack and a half against Jackson. Who was cluttering up that middle? Did Henry get 100 yards that game? I know he got a long run. Beautiful comment there. I was thinking the same thing, Omar. We getting ready for fantasy, bro. Me and Omar getting ready for fantasy. We gonna start waxing people a little bit, but that's exactly what I was thinking, bro. Why can't we, you know, if it goes the way it goes, bro, I don't, I don't want to pick high, but if we're predicting what I think we're gonna be, it's gonna be mid, you know, maybe 15. Around, I hope it is, 15 to whatever. That's a pick to where you could get quality player, and a Philly, it doesn't matter, man. Philly could trade back and then still get a good player. But if we get a defensive lineman from there, bro, I would love that shit. We get the one that we should originally got and bounce from the fucker that we have. I'm done with Tyree Wilson, bro. I'm done for saying all this dude's gonna blossom. It's his year. Fuck, it's too long already. It's too long already for this dude. I don't care if he balls out this year. I'm still gonna say he fucking sucked. He didn't live up to his pick unless he gets 20 sacks this year. That's the only way that he can live up to what he fucked up. And making us not look stupid for picking this dude hurt and inconsistent in college. That's the only way it will. You got to get 20 fucking sacks, be all fucking MVP in the fucking defense. That's the only way. What's good with my boy Chewy, my Fresno partner? What's up, man? How you doing? They were being here, bro. I'm getting pumped up for football, bro. It smelled like football this morning. I went outside, man, checked out, let the dogs out to go piss and shit. All that grass out there, man. I took up there because I live right by a high school, man. High school right down the street, Fresno High. That's where I live by. And man, it smells so nice. Kids out there get warming up. Want to get back. Want to get back into the mix of coaching football. I gotta get a little bit better. I get doing it. Here we go, Mike, man. Glad you're staying here, man, with me. We drafted Wilson. We have to hurt. From the bad pick, bro. All the way around, bad decision to me. Thought my boy Mitchell took your soul. What's up, man? He was within emotions, grab. Yeah, Fresno boys in the building. Yes, sir. True. All we need is our lives back in here. There we go. We got some good ones. I'm not bueno. I think we need to build our culture before we sign big free agents. Have a history of playing guys when our team is garbage. If it's one guy, one guy, okay. Now we can look at the, Lalu, a little bit did what we expected from Wilkins, okay, little bit, but now his expectations is higher, and we think that he could do what Wilkins did. Wilkins was good at things. It's very hard to be a defensive tackle pass rusher. That's not what your responsibility is. But if you get there, it's even better. It's a bonus. Like for instance with me, with Max Crosby and his pressures and all that shit. I'm not a pressure type guy. I'm an old school. If the pressure should have been a sack. I don't give a fuck if you have 59 pressures and 6 sacks. You just didn't get there. And then the pressure could be you make the quarterback throw something and it could be a fucking touchdown, but you still get a pressure. You still get that pressure, but he could throw a touchdown on you. It doesn't take that pressure away. And so that's the downsides of, he has 69 fucking pressure. It doesn't matter to me. To me, it don't. But everybody else could jack off to it, but I don't. My boy Augie, but what's up, man? How you doing, bro? Butler gonna hold it down on the defensive tackle, and Kutz's gonna make the big difference. Let's see what Pagoose and Hemingway, left guard, the Bay Area, said. You're from the Bay, bro. I lived in the Bay for just about 2 months, man. I got a liver transplant, man. I was a Bay Area boy. Paid taxes in there for 2 months. What's up to the Bay Area, man? Bay Area saved my life. Fresno fucked it up, and the Bay Area made it better. Yeah, who says that? Usually it's the other way around. Fresno ain't too good. That ringtone pissed me off. Yeah, bro, it's my duck one. I got a new phone, Chewy. It's the 16, whatever. It hit to my old phone. They got bad. I just don't. I gotta get to do it. I'll change it, bro, to get on your nerves. It gets my attention. Instead of that, I won't hear it, but it gets my attention with the duck because there ain't ducks around here. Ain't no fucking ducks in Fresno. It's too hot. Bueno, that's my wife we told. That's the only one. What's up, Marcus Banks? How you doing, man? Thanks for being here with Coach Gravy, man. I'll be on for a little bit. We're gonna talk about what's going on. We're gonna see what's going on, bro. CMC, a team last year, yeah. Oh, you're talking about fantasy. So you're back in it, right? Yeah, using the Hollow Squad. I'll put you in the Hollow Squad if you want to be in that one. I think I got two in the Hollow Squad. I don't know. I got to talk to Alpha Kazi, and I don't know if Twan. But man, Alpha Kazi, man, it's hard for the transfer of monies is weird over there. But if we can handle that problem, Alpha Kazi is a good player. I don't mind that. But we got some spots on the Radio Nation Live. Me and Omar are running that one too. So if you guys want to get up in that Radio Nation Live fantasy, I think Chris don't want no more of that because he whack. And then I think there's another one. Cool Kev, you gotta get your ass in there. I want to play you. You say you're always bad at fantasy. You ain't shit. Here we go, Jeff. Hey, great show today, Jeff. You and Chris, man. Big ups to you, man. I didn't want to intrude on that. I was gonna go on earlier, but I seen you have a show on Mondays, so I won't do it. But great show, man. Real instinct, real informative show. On Tuesday. On Monday show. They're great. Monday shows are great. I'm thinking about doing a Monday show, but so we could bitch and get mad, upset what we did wrong or what we did right. We could talk about it and see what's going on. If it's on a Monday, it'll be on a Tuesday. We have a game on Thursday. It'll be on a Friday. Shit like that. Right off the bat. But we have our Sunday show with Red Nation Live that we really dive into it. But the Monday show was just you watch the game, and that's what I really do. I'm all pumped up or pissed off on Sunday, and I'll just start going all wild and shit. But Jeff, great show, man. Thank you for being here, bro. Much love. It'll be more devastated if we lost Wilkins after he had an amazing season. Yeah, I see what we're saying, people. I see that. But what I want to do is I want us to look. Hey, are we going to depend? Are we going to depend on our young guys? We got these guys for the reason for him being hurt. I think so. I'm with everybody on that. I'm with everybody that said Christian Wilkins has a problem, and it's lingering. And I think it was Lowe or somebody had said that we got these guys for a reason because he's hurt. And I think I gave props to Lowe for saying that shit. Yeah, I wanted Jalen Carter. I see players did way worse. He's in a great situation. We don't know if his coaching and his. I know his ability was balling. His ability was balling. So he's doing it now. He's in a great situation. I don't think that but I would be like what Omar said. Call him up, man. See if we can get some of them little older defensive tackles and say, hey, we need a Christian Wilkins type guy. Pete Carroll win a press conference or Patrick Graham win a press conference. First question was about Lalu. Patrick Graham is not going to talk shit on Lalu, whatever his name is. I know he's a good player, big kid, big guy. So if he's not Christian Wilkins, can be, but I don't want to wait no more. We gotta get that. If you guys don't like it, shit, I've been waiting for a long time for this team to do something successful, and I'm pissed that it's not. And with a guy like Pete Carroll and the impact he's gonna have, we're talking that Pete Carroll's gonna do this, and Pete Carroll, let it show. Let's get the fucking play. Pete Carroll knows that you can't win without good players. That's the fact of the NFL. You can't wait and see if this guy pass. You do that with the rookies you pick late. third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh round. You and the undrafted guys, you groom those guys to your program. You don't got a lot of time, bro. You know, Best has to do something, or you're 2 years in, you're out. You're gone. You're old. Too old already. Hey, Chewy played at Fresno High. What's up? You went to high school at Fresno High? I live in a tower, bro. I got a house in a tower, and I got a house over there in the east side. And I work for Central. House Junkies, what's up, my boy? How you doing, man? Good to salute. Always salute to you, man. Shout out to the 30-something people in here, man. Yeah, Pappy, I remember him. Raider Shep, what's up, man? Welcome to the show, man. Subscribe to Coach Gravy, Raider Gay 420, and what up, low, man? Raider Nation Live, too. I'm on that show. I'm out here in Merced, my son's first day of football practice today. Let's get it. There you go, bro. That's great. You know, Pee Wees, first day of football, Pee Wees, Pop Warners, or what? That's great, man. Keep them in it, bro. Have them ball out. Hope they don't get hurt. I hope everything's good. That's great to hear. Football started, people. What up, my boy? I haven't seen you in a while. Thought you didn't like me either, man. Thought you was mad or something. What up, Mike J, man? Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, bro. Good to see you, man. Good to see your face on here. What up, Jeff, man? Giving everybody love, saying what's up. 707, baby. Here we go, man. Yeah, man. I just want to talk to everybody, see what's going on. I'm on my lunch break. Chewy's at work. Way to go, man. Thank you for hearing Coach Gravy over here, man. You got anything you want to say? Got points you want to make? I'll bring them up to note. Fresno got that A's call. We don't drink Carlos Rossi over here, man. That's LA shit. Bay shit. Ain't that E40 Carlos Rossi? We don't drink that shit over here. Ain't no Carlos Rossi going on in Fresno. We here. We mo liquor that shit. Hey, so you down for the right now league? Or right now league? You want to be on the Holler Squad? You're on the Holler Squad. No, you're not on Holler Squad. You're on the Radio Nation Live. You're what the one Low was on. Low ain't playing no more. Cool, Kev, you want to get in? Let me know, bro. We're gonna have the draft coming up. Me and Omar are gonna get together. Omar knows what's up. Get out in about a week, and we're gonna see what's up. Shug Knight, I'm gonna punk your ass in a trade, yeah. Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I ain't gonna. I probably got different times. This year. I know what time you're going on, Jeff. We, more the better. You know what I mean? We could collab or do something. Morning shows ain't no thing, bro. I've seen a bunch of them. And there's more that's gonna pop up, Jeff. More morning shows are gonna pop up. They're gonna see, you know, it could be an everyday thing, but the morning gossip show or what's going on in the league or what's going on with the Raiders is gonna be a big thing. Talk the good and bad. That's good. I heard your little game plan for it. That's great. Nutty Red Renee, my boy. What's up, man? Good to see you, my man. Oh man, always good to see Renee. What's up, man? That's my dog right there, man. I see you a couple of shows, bro. Great game, bro. Great game. Wish one day, man, we could get collab, man, and get together and see what's up, man. Stop all this shit. I wish you get together and do that, bro. You always been a good dude to me, bro. Hope to see you one day, man. See you again. Glad you're doing good, brother. Augie, my cousin got a kidney transplant out here. Oh, I'll put it up here. I'm just reading out some chats before I get busy. Glad you're doing good, brother. My cousin got a kidney transplant out here in the Bay, San Francisco, I believe. Also stays out here in the Valley. Blessing your way. Thank you very much, Augie. That means a lot to me, bro. That means a lot. That community, bro, is deep. What league is that? Give me that league, OJ. Oh, that's Raider Nation was. It's $50. Yeah. Here we go, my boy Stokes. I'm gonna get on my boy Stokes in a minute. Stokes was saying how good the DBs looked in pass today. Love to hear that. Yeah. That structured pad shit. Yeah, I will. I will, Omar. We'll get together, bro. We'll get together, bro. Was in the Hollow Squad. Okay, you in the Hollow Squad? All right, you in there. You're right, Mike. Pete Carroll gets the best out of all of his players, bro. That's word. That's straight up. You know, that's one thing that I know that we're gonna do better, man. I gave us the prediction that I gave us in the game to win game, is 8. And that with that 8, I gave, coach and Pete Carroll and his staff that he got are named guys that are respected in the NFL. I wasn't with the Patrick Graham, bringing him back, but Patrick Graham produced defensively. I just thought we needed to get a new way, and it's not like, hey man, we got to do something different here because we were getting exposed in the same things over and over and over again, and it just frustrated me. Um, it just it just frustrated me too much to where, um, and especially in the middle of the field, like I talked about last night. If you watch that show, go watch it again. Give us a good little view. That the middle of the field was a big problem for us. We lost games with that issue. We've been losing games with that issue, because the middle of the field has always been open. When we even had a, a well, we had Epps back there for a year or two. We had Morig back there. We had, Spalanka dropped back, got picks, still didn't solve that problem. And then we do, and what we do in free agency is we get a bunch of run stuffers. Look at the dynamic and the stats of pass breakups that our defensive backs have. I think last time I looked, JB was the one, and he's only in his third year. Out of all these DBs we have, JB has the most pass breakups, and more than Stokes. And Stokes has been in the league longer. It trips me out how we look at our depth chart, and that depth chart could change. But I hope it does as far as the DB room is concerned. I hope it changes, and I hope there's new faces and new people in there. We're getting, obviously there's a problem at safety or linebacker that they see to go get Jamal Adams, to go get him. Jamal Adams was a great safety. Okay. Now, we're saying, all right, Diablo didn't do what he was supposed to do as a linebacker. We just did the same thing with Jamal Adams. A hurt dude had a major injury, and he's coming back from it. And it's just tough for me to say. It's just tough for me to say that. What up, Raider Paul? How you doing, brother? Thank you for being here, man. You gotta give me some love, Paul. Here we go. How's Jug? I hope he's watching, man. I think Low watching. He usually getting off work or in the cafeteria right now at his job, eating shit. But Jamal Adams is just like a smaller fucking Diablo to me. He wasn't well known as coverage. He was a bang safety. We're getting these bang guys. We're getting excited for, but who's gonna cover these fools? Who's gonna cover these tight ends around there? Do we have corners like that? Do we think that we have corners like that? Best thing you ever said on the show, Paul. Oh, I thought you said that we when we lost Hobbs, we lost a good one, bro, because he did that, but it wasn't reliable. I understand people say that. I don't think Diablo sucked, bro, but damn, man, he at least he could stand by these guys. We ain't got a guy that could do that. We ain't got a guy that could hang with the tight end. We need a DB, a smaller DB to hang with these big 6 foot something tight ends. You know, I mean, we got 6'6" tight ends and a 6'3" corner. You know, nowadays, who's the better athlete? We don't know anymore. You know what I mean? We gotta play Evan Ingram twice. You know, we gotta play Kelsey twice. And whoever the fuck the San Diego guy, we gotta play him twice. You don't think they know? Have we solved our problem in the middle of the field? Then tell me who that is right now. Devin White ain't gonna do that. How is Devin White? Devin White's a sideline. He's a sideline guy, bro. He can't cover. All those linebackers are not known to cover, bro. The run stuffers. The run stuffers, bro. So what kind of defense will it play? We're gonna have more DBs back there to solve that problem, and then have less pressure. Are we depending on this? Or we're gonna get the Legion of Boom? Now we ain't even close to the fucking Legion of Boom, bro. Not even close. Don't even mention this is a fucking Sherman guy, or this, not even fucking close. Ain't none of them guys got anything like those dudes. Anything. I get upset when people say, "Oh, we're getting the makings of a fucking Legion of Boom." Nah, bro. I don't think so. God, it sounds so sour, man. But I'm pumping up my team. I want us to play better, man. And I don't want you guys to be surprised that I want to be wrong. But it's glaring right in your face that we have problems right there. It's glaring in your face that we got problems in our secondary. Didn't ESPN or the NFL or something pick us 32nd in the league as far as DB? Where's Nate at? I think I heard Nate saying this. I'm a sour ass about though, yeah. Yeah, cool kid. But see, Adams is gonna play linebacker. We got 6 other fucking linebackers that do the same thing. So we just added another one. So we better stop the run. We better stop the run, bro. And you know what's bad? As much shit as I talked that we couldn't stop the run last year or whatever, we were like 17th or 18th stopping the run, which is basically middle of the pack. I was astonished that I seen that stat. That we were that high up there stopping the run. And if these teams didn't run the ball against us, they just threw, or you know, but we weren't really good. I feel the same way, in my opinion, because coaching. These dudes will be coached better. Who has us going 11-6, bro? Look at Mike. Look at Mike saying that. He was. I ain't gonna get mad at that. Porter, promising guy. Promising guy. I'm concerned that we got a rookie getting first team reps. That just shows. That just tells. That just tells me that we got problems in the DB room if a rookie is going out there. You know, you're beating out these dudes. I will. I'm more happy having JB and DCAM out there because they got that shit. They know what's up. They know what's up as far as getting picked on. You know, you let them suffer that shit. They've been through that already, so they know JB and DCAM would be perfect starting situation. If mix in this rookie, I don't want to see fucking Stokes out there because he's gonna give me the same shit. The same shit. It ain't like he's gonna ball out now. He got good coaching in Green Bay too, and he was a backup. Bro, I don't know what you. Well, I don't know what you get as 11 wins. Everyone who you in fantasy land, bro. You in Disneyland shit. Here we go, Cool Cab, man. Just reading comments real quick. Gravy guys knew this team was done. A lot of business decisions were made during games. Yes, sir. And then we suffered it, bro. That's why I'm doing it now, bro. Even though we had the Cool Kev, even though we had the transition of coaching and the flow is different, the demeanor is different, the culture is different. I knew that this was gonna happen with Pete Carroll, and the same shit is not gonna happen. The bad decisions ain't gonna happen, and Ramsey started. Ramsey wasn't a fourth round pick, dude. Or third. What was he? What was Porter? Third, fourth round. He wasn't that. Ramsey was around the get. You could buy a rookie's jersey, bro, all you want. You could be on this dude all you want. Okay, he's gonna get burnt. He's gonna learn the hard way. And if you're cool with that, then fine. That's you. But I'm not gonna get in an argument with you saying, what was Charles Woodson, bro? A number one pick for the Raiders, bro. He was a Rose Bowl champ, Rose Bowl MVP, both ways. You can't compare Darian Porter with fucking Charles Woodson or fucking Jalen Ramsey. Get off that, bro. Go smoke your shit. And tell me if this guy's a fucking delusional. Like, see, he never. Don't surprise me. You at Disneyland. Cardo play with the Raiders no more, or Josh Jacobs, both trash. When did I bring those dudes up? And then he comes up with this: Gino and Genti way better. uh, I love you, Paul. I love you. How you bring my. Hey, now you getting. You must be high, man. Go to work. Get to work, bro. I don't need to prove shit to you. As far as from what I know, you get into it with everybody on fucking YouTube, and then you kiss their ass too. Say, I heard you, bro. I hear you. I don't do that shit. He'll kiss ass. That's what you are. Why is he yelling at me? I ain't even get with you on that. Anyway, what I was saying until and Paul wanted to interrupt my show was that what we were saying about the DB room was that if we're gonna start a rookie, he's gonna go through the same situations as JB did and DCAN. Those guys improved while they got thrown in there. I think DCAM had to be JB, same situation. They went through some rough ass shit. And so it's expected. They know now. You know what I mean? And I know that homeboy was I know that he's gonna sit here and say if he's gonna sit here if JB is gonna have the same beginning of the season that he had before he got hurt. I thought he played well. You know, the options are there on both sides, but they're good players. They're good players, and just the if you got a rookie out there, it's gonna make me think that, hey man, I'm not confident unless and Porter's the same guy. Porter is he what he's talking about is saying, you know, I should have been a number one pick. Like people said that, but and I understand that. You know what Paul was saying. Yeah, I understand that, but you can't put him in the same picture as Charles Woodson or Ramsey and all that shit. You can't. He's a rookie. You are gonna hear it, bro. I'm gonna say I was wrong, and I ain't fucking scared to do that. I've been wrong a many times, and I've been right a many times too. Because I think I know football, bro. But honestly, you can't sit here and say that you can't sit here and say that we're cool. We gonna win 11 games with this shit. It might happen, bro. What you no one you act like you could sit here and no one could contradict what the Raiders are doing. It happens all the time, bro. You ain't the only one saying that we start winning. You're just hoping that we do good. I'm pointing out to you. You can argue with me all you want. I'll do that. When you start saying suck ass and shit like that, bro, you just get off my shit. You can pull it with your nuts all you want. I ain't worried about you. You near me, let me know. I'm with you. We haven't had a team like this since when 2003. What year was that? My history with the Raiders, bro, is right now really. You're right, Steve. I don't know no more than that, but that's my opinion, bro. That's what I think. But a lot of these times, these guys are wrong too. They ain't like you 100%. You know, I know Chip Kelly's dope. I give him credit all the time. If Chip Kelly fucks up, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna say that give him a chance. I know what it's like or anything like that. I've never been in the NFL. You tell me a show that you listen to that's been in the NFL that can say that. I'm sure there's a lot of them. But just because they contradict on what they're doing doesn't mean that we don't know. I don't know more. They're fucking coaches and they're fucking general managers. I'm just a I'm just a show host. Jeff, anyone going to New England week one? Details of pregame party September 6th. Oh, yeah, you having a big old thing over there. Steve DeLuna, thank you, bro. Appreciate that. I just think that we could get better. I just think we could get better and a situation. But now I think that it is what we got. Je, what's up, man? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. I've seen you before, bro. You got a dope little ride there, man. You got that Impala right there. What's up? That's good. But I tell you what, I'm gonna be at the home opener, bro. I changed that. I changed the Dallas game to the home opener. Man, the Dallas game is, dude. I ain't gonna sit waiting to fuck up there thing for it's $800, $600. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'd rather sit, a good little seat. Me and Gabe gonna be in some good seat. I think Arkham's rolling with us. You know, Low got hooked up. So if you said good, Paul, guess that. But the whole trip, bro, I'm taking my family with me, bro. So I make game. I want. I don't just don't want to go to one game, bro. I want to hit the Bears game. I'm gonna hit the game in LA. We were talking about hitting the Titans game out of town, so we're gonna be doing that. There'll be a lot of Dallas fans there. Yeah, I'll shout them out. If you the dude you say you are, and then you punk them all up. If you the dude you say, bring your nuts to that game. And my prediction right here, Mike, I think that I think we're a good 9-win team right now. If and that's look, man, we're depending on rookies. We're depending on very young guys to do things for us, and that's hard for me to blend in with what we're doing. You know, the rookies are gonna do rookie shit, and they're gonna do. I'm just trying to make it as convenient for you to understand the way I'm thinking. I'm not bashing my team. I'm just contradicting on the things from free agency. I was we need this, we need that, we need to get this. Then then we didn't do that. We just and we make the excuse that hey, it's a lateral move, and then I didn't see it was even a lateral move. The only lateral thing we did as far as linebackers or whatever was Pratt. You know, as far as Mullins, I mean Morig, it was Chin, and is Chin better than Morig? You know, Morig was I expected more from Morig being what he was picked at. You know, he was a second round pick, bro, high. You know, he was a high second round pick, and and I think that he should have been. He was getting better, and to me, I thought that Jack Jones made Morik better because of the instinctiveness, and Morik knew you need a corner like a cornerback like Jack Jones. And much love to Jack Jones. I was a Jack Jones guy, bro. I wish we would have. He might be an asshole, but you tell me if there's anybody in the NFL that ain't. But I think Jack Jones made Morig a better player. Yeah, Morig got a lot of money to be what he could be, and I think that he was overpaid. Yes, but he might turn out to be the guy that we should have had. But I don't think we replaced him. We got a guy that gets a lot of tackles, but he's not known for coverage. He's a safety. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to. They're the safety valve as far as running's concerned. But the way Washington was running their shit was he was a tackling machine over there. And I don't know if Patrick if they leave those guys, I'm more confident in Pal Mal covering than I am my other than Chin, because I've seen Chin cover. I dissected Chin, and he's not like Morey as far as coverage, and even Morey got burned in the middle of the field. So where is that coverage at? My thing is the middle of the field, bro, because that was our problem. I don't got a problem with deep balls, and we're the team that we ain't got no deep balls thrown on us. We have that stat. We ain't got no deep ball thrown on us, or for touchdowns or whatever that was. I know that. I seen that. But when we when we when that happens and we get beat in the middle of the field for 5 years straight since Patrick Graham has been here, when Gus Bradley was here, that didn't happen. And then when even fuck the middle of the field has been open for 5 years since Patrick Graham has been here. 4 years since Patrick Graham's been here, the middle of the field has been wide open. it'll be 3rd and 18, 3rd and 20, and fucking right down the middle of the fucking field, boom, a completion. So when is that gonna get solved, bro? I said it last night. When is that gonna get solved? Who is gonna be that guy to do that? Is it Chin? He's not known for that. He's not known for coverage. He's a safety. He should be. And I understand the development of safety, of strong safeties now, and free safeties now, and the 4-2-5 defense. I would rather put more linebacker. I'd rather get a linebacker to cover a tight end or to put some hands on them. And then, that's what they're doing. They're bringing a safety in to be a linebacker, but Jamal Adams to do that? If we just would have stuck with fucking Diablo to cover tight ends, fine. He could do that because he was a safety. But he wasn't a better safety than Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams isn't known for coverage. So when we're covering a tight end, we're covering a tight end. We have to minimize his play in the middle of the field or on the outside or whatever. We have to do that. Wherever he goes, wherever that grass is that he's going to be at, we have to cover that. Who's going to do that for us? We got a bunch of guys that can stop the run. Yes, we better fucking stop the run. I've said that before. If we don't, shit, I'm going to go off. Gravy's going to be going off, bro. But what you guys think, man? Thank you, everybody, for being here, man. From it, SoCal Sal is saying Raiders and Cowboys always more expensive. You guys on that? We have a really nice looking engine now. Great point, Steve. Great point. I think, like I've always said, bro, I think that Spillane, he rubbed off on me, bro. I had to get to like Spillane, and I dug his game. He grew on me to where I was saying he accolades of Pro Bowl status. You know what I mean? He was playing Pro Bowl ball for the Raiders. And that's one of the guys I thought we could have paid up to get. We could have kept that guy. And we would have kept that guy. Would have been more confident in our linebackers because he did get us some picks. He was in right situations, but he was involved in that middle of the field exposure. Now, I know we're not going to solve every problem in the middle of the field. But, hey, if you ain't got nothing, every third down, I wasn't confident, and you knew exactly who didn't know exactly where the ball was going to go in the middle of the fucking field. And we knew that. So if I see that get solved, I'll change my view as far as the defense is concerned. I would. Freak Thinker, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys. Everybody being here. Appreciate seeing Mike Guerrero, man. Soul. My boy Nate was up in here, man. Good to see you guys. Hope you're on your lunch listening to Coach Gravy, man. My opinion, Pratt's PFF coverage grade was better than Spillane. Yeah, I know that. And we say the notion is that he was the most. You know why? In my opinion, that look at the stats of you. I know you're probably doing that, but he was thrown to the most in the NFL. He was the most picked on linebacker in the NFL. Now, why is that? His PFF grade will be better than Spillane because Morig somewhat sold up that middle of the field, but they designed plays just for Morig to be out the way because of the instinctiveness of Jack Jones. They were in zone all day, every day, bro. They were in nickel every play. So you got 5 DBs out there, and you're letting the middle of the field be open? Come on, man. Isn't that bad to you? I don't want to play. I guess that's the norm now for the Raiders. I'm going to be tripping out if we go out there and play zone first game. I ain't gonna be surprised. That's that's Patrick Graham's go to. If we have the corners to play man, then he'll do it. But if we don't, he gonna play zone. And this is what I think too. He ought to throw another linebacker in there. Ain't no problem, bro. His PFF grade is higher, bro. I try to know what I'm talking about too, bro. I'm in the same boat. I don't know everything, bro. But I'm telling you this. I looked at Pratt when we got him. I looked at him, and he was the most picked on linebacker in the league last year. And they're not doing that to get away from him. They're doing that because he has problems with coverage. Probably. That's what I would think as an offensive guy. I'm saying, hey, he can't cover right. So that the more you cover somebody, your PFF grade is going to go higher. But what you do after that, it'll get low. But I know they had quarterbacks had like a hundred something, 100 something quarterback rating when they threw his way. Look at that. Check that out. From what I remember seeing, it was astronomical. They had a great day when, and it could be like 5 throws, 5 targets his way. But I think it was rounded up to, if there was 5 targets, 4 of them would be completed. And it's tough for a linebacker to cover, man. That's not their main thing. Their main thing is to step up first. I understand all that, and we gotta stop the run. Stopping the run is a major, major part in football. You'll win football games if you stop the run. You make a team one dimensional. That's cool. I love that. I don't give a fuck what it is. If you stop them, but you have to. You cannot have teams run all over you because the game will be over in fucking 30 minutes. You could say that, bro, Vasily, but you got to have input in it, bro. You sit back and relax and then make a comment and then say that's what you was thinking. And what truth is it? Prove me wrong, bro. Prove me wrong what I'm saying about this DB room. Prove me wrong what I'm saying about these linebackers. I'm with it. Prove me wrong that I'm not a Thornton guy. You know, we as Raider fans, and believe you me, I'm guilty as everybody. I'm with Raider Paul. I'm with that. Oh, just wait and see. They're gonna ball out, and he could be right, bro. He could be right, and I could be wrong what I'm saying about these people. But the concern is, am I the only one that's saying, I'm concerned with it? Get back at me and tell me what else do you have that I could not contradict that? Who else do we have that could be like Christian Wilkins was? Or do the damage. Watch the tape when Christian. It wasn't like he wasn't doing shit. You know what I mean? He was taking up double teams. Teams were concerned with his play. He was taking on double. That's what a defensive tackle was supposed to do. Okay. Now, when he wasn't there, we won a 10-game losing streak. Most of them, 3 or 4 of them were 20-point losses. And we could have said it was many things. But I know that our defensive front, if you really look at it, and I did, I wouldn't say that we went on a 10-game losing streak without Wilkins if I didn't look and see what we were doing. We were just depending on a hurt Max to do shit. And luckily, Chason and those younger guys came up and they overdid themselves, and then we let them go for cheap contracts. We lost Chason. He got a little bit more money. He deserves it. But we were expecting Coach back. I understand that. But we don't know what Coach is going to do. We don't know that. And where we get in this mindset because we're so excited about football. Believe you me, I'm very excited about this team playing. I want to see them play. I want us to do this and that, but we have to break that mold to where we're gonna say, hey man, this is where are we rebuilding this team? Are we doing things Pete Carroll's way? We are doing things Pete Carroll's way because I could see that the demeanor of the team, the way just the little films of us doing drills, bro, and looking at other teams do drills is different than what Pete. You know, we didn't see McDaniels out there or AP out there doing these bag drills, hopping over bag drills, and with your coach right there with gloves on, sitting there routing your guys up. All them coaches were running with those players. That's the way I am. Maybe you guys can't see me doing that, but I'm like that. I know what it feels like to be in an environment that's good and a pump up environment. And I also work for guys that were fucking sour guys. They talked it, but they didn't do it. And it shows in your play. It shows in play. And I know we're not gonna have a season like last year. I know we're not. It's not even gonna be in the picture. We're not even gonna show flashes of that. But if we think if we're gonna say, oh, we gotta put it at a certain level, let's play better, let's look better. Our uniforms are gonna be the same, but it's gotta be a different looking Raider team. Let's run out there and execute some running plays. Let's not be so vanilla and let's get some designing going on. I know things early are gonna be let's move it, but still you gotta have the same impact. Let's do shit now. Game one, let's be ready to go. I don't want this shit. Oh, it takes, if things don't pan out the way that we want them to be game one, it takes a couple of games to fucking get going. Nah, those are losses right there, and they mean something. That means something. That shit means something right there. That game one, game two means shit. I support you. Sally, you can see the support I have in my team, bro. I want to win. I'm just bringing up. It ain't all good. It ain't all fine and dandy when you look up into other things, and I bring that out, bro. I have concerns with the secondary. And I'm not the only one saying it. I'm not the only one saying that we have a problem in our secondary. Why are we saying let's go get Jalen Ramsey? Because he's a big name guy? Why are we saying let's go get Hilton or whatever? I think he went somewhere else, but why are we saying that? Why are we saying let's go get Gilmore? Why are we saying let's go get somebody else? And then why are we looking at Quentin, what's his name, that was in the room? Because we got a problem at defensive tackle now. You know what I mean, bro? I'm glad you feel that way. I'm just trying to. Yeah, he went to the Dolphins. Ooh, they got Jack Jones and Hill. Ooh. There we go. My opinion said we have last year. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, and I understand all the over enthusiasm, over hypeness, but I fell into that, man, for many years, and I'm disciplining myself to say, hold up, as much as a good coach Pete Carroll is, and the obstacles that he's been through, and he's been through a bunch of them. I know that it's going to be tough this year. It's going to be tough this year to do what he wants to do. And if we're going to go by this year by year until he's out, then I know he's not going to say it, but I will. We're just getting this going, and we're going to do it young, and they're not going to tell us that. And I don't think it's a rebuild because we wouldn't have did all these big contracts with Max Crosby. But it is, think about this, that it is concerning that why haven't we paid Jacoby? Why haven't we paid our tackle? If we're not rebuilding, then let's do that. You see what I mean? I like, why are we lollygagging around and not paying our best offensive lineman. Night Out, what's up, man? Thank you for being here with Coach Gravy, man. Rock, what's up, man? Thank you for being here with Coach Gravy, bro. Shout out to the 30 in the house. Tony Shepard, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Happy lunchtime to everybody in the West Coast. Lunchtime, mountain time, and getting off work out there in the East, I guess. Hey, Rock, I heard that back. I think it's just he started center, bro. He a damn good football player, bro. I see that in him. He started center, bro. It just sometimes, it could be a different situation. We don't know if it was a situation type deal to where, hey man, they got to have a backup center, and something happens to if something happens to JPJ, unfortunately, that we're gonna have to have a guy in there, and he's gonna replace him. And I don't know if he's injured. He was injured last year, but I just think they're moving shit around. But see, I don't want stuff to be like we were game 5. We were still rotating this offensive line. I like all this. Oh, we got to wait a couple of games. I hope nobody says that on our shows, bro. I hope not one person. And someone might do it just to play around, but I hope nobody says, oh, it takes a couple of games, because then he just gave up to bullshitness. I'm gonna call you a dipshit. Then it's like, nah, football's not like that, bro. Put that wait out 6 games. That's what you got preseason for. All this shit right now is to smooth all that shit out. Who's better? You're in pass now. So it's time to get all that shit out the way. Who's better? Let's go. Tony and Nebraska 102, bro. That's not. I'm used to that over here, man. Fresno, bro. Cali is. This is one. It's a valley, Central Valley, bro. It's hot as fuck. It gets 110 over here sometimes. It's like, it's not. It's dry, bro. It's like Vegas kind of. Hey, I can ask my boy Josh. Did they at the spot? I know Tick is gonna be out there. 805's out there. I got there's people out there. Zella, you in Fresno? Are you a Fresno guy too? What up? Let me know, man. I got a lot of Fresno people, man. We got you in Fresno, bro. He says not bad for us. It's nice in Fresno, bro. So if you're in Fresno, bro, me, you, Chewy, fucking all eyes. We can get together, man. Low. We can see what's up. Rock, you in Fresno too? You go to the dog games, bro. I got season tickets at Fresno State. That's my shit right here, bro. I'd be for Fresno. I hate Derek Carr. I don't know. I seen his wife fucking yesterday at the mall. I don't tell her shit. Not her fault. I think a nephew or something playing at Bakersfield Christian or something like that. He pretty dope too. I think he already committed. He like a sophomore. He committed to Fresno State. There's another car coming. Couple of them. Bearing wheat tonight. There you go, Tony Shepard. You know what, man? I'll be honest with you, bro. I dig a can't do it yet. But the little gummies, it'd be hot. It'd be hot. The gummies are hot. A little 10-gram gummy. Yes, sir. I'm right here delivering the Ultra on Central. All right, man. That's cool, bro. You driving over there on Central Avenue? What would I say to DJ? I met the dude. He knows that I'm on a show, and I always, if I told him, I'd give him respect, bro. I'm a respectful guy. I say what I want on the show, but I really wouldn't even talk to him, man. I'm a Raider fan. I said, man, you did a lot of bad shit. You did a lot of crazy shit, and I'm more of a Derek Carr, David. I'm more of a Derek Carr, Fresno State fan than I was. I was happy the Raiders got him. Up to 2016, I was cool. 2017 is when I fell off with all the shit he was doing. And if people can't see that, then I don't, it ain't personal. I could say fuck Derek Carr. He doesn't give a shit what I say about him. He's a good dude, a holy man. I respect that. But, you see Derek Carr, if you're in Fresno, you see him. He's not around here as much as he used to be, but he does live here. You see his siblings around. David's around all the time. They shoot commercials and shit over here. Where I used to see him a lot? I used to see him a lot at Sequoia Brewing Company, because I live right by there. But you couldn't get close to him. A couple of times I would just say Raiders and shit. He'll just put his fist up. But if I see somebody, if I see a guy like that, like little personality or whatever, I respect him eating and things like that. I don't want nobody fucking with me when I'm eating with my family and shit. But at games, man, I used to say, you fucking, everybody did. I'm not the only one that used to say. I would tell him, hey, man, I have a show and stuff, and try to say, hey, you want to get out? He would just, he gets asked that everywhere, bro. I'm not the only one that was doing it. I know what he would say, bro. He said he loved everybody and he loved being a Raider. Yeah, he just like he loved gimmick. He loved everybody and he ain't gonna talk shit on nobody. That's the way he is, bro. He didn't criticize not a once. Never said, his brother did though. His brother straight up. But deep down, bro, he loved the Raiders, but deep down, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan, bro. He got a son named Dallas. He got a son named Dallas. But respect is there. A great Fresno State quarterback. His brother, actually, if you're from the Valley, I think that David Carr was a better quarterback than Derek Carr. But, even at Fresno State. But what made Derek Carr was Davante Adams. If you're around Dan Vaselli and Chewy and all these guys that rock, you knew that. You knew that if Derek Carr didn't have Davante Adams, Davante Adams was uncoverable when he was in college. I don't know. It showed. It showed in the pros. DC, a very cool dude. Yeah. When his name gets brought up in Fresno, bro, you're not gonna win that battle. You're not gonna win that battle. I know that. I know that for a fact. But I don't go out of my way to see the dude. I've seen him. I met him. I got so much shit signed by Derek and David Carr. It's crazy. And Davante. I'm a big, big, big Fresno State fan, and I'm a big Raider fan. More Raider fan than I am Fresno State. But I'm gonna tell you this: I was very disappointed on the performance of Derek Carr when longer later on in his development. He's a cool dude though. Both of them are very cool. Dude. That family's good. Dude. They're real righteous, humble people. Derek and David, they appreciate what they have. They're from religious. Dad's their father is a and their grandfather was pastors, deacons, or something like that. They were. What up, my boy Dub Raider, man? Hey, what up, Stokey Nation? What's up, man? Hey, I got in your chat or your Dub Nation. I got it there on Facebook. Thank you for the invite. I got a Cohiba uh, 60. A, what is this? Cohiba. It's a Cohiba. I know that. That's a Maduro, though. I just smoked nothing but Maduros, bro. I smoke nothing but Maduro. How you doing, Dub? Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it, bro. Shout out to the 25 in the house, bro. Listen to the gravy. I'll be on here about 2 hours. Got about another 30 minutes, 45 minutes to go. If we make it interesting, we can go longer. When people start bitching, start complaining. Hey, you know what, Dub? Let me know. Let me know in the chat or get at me on the side, bro. I know I got you on IG. Let me know if we're gonna be in Vegas, man, on opening day. We gonna kick it, man. I don't know where all the. I'm gonna get with Loon, but I know Loon's doing something that day. I reached out to him and said he's having a little swim party and stuff. So I'm gonna be there Sunday, bro. And I want to get with people and smoke a stogie and watch games, bro. So if anybody gonna be out there, you want to kick it with Coach Gravy, let's go. Go get something to eat. Go, I don't drink no more, but I watch you drink and let you get crazy. I got your back. Don't worry about that. Let's go. Let's go tapping ass. I seen that. I looked at the reviews on that, man. I got a bunch of cigar joints in Vegas. I can't wait. Nice ones. I'll get on anytime, bro. Mondays is tough in the morning. Anytime, bro. I told you that. Just let me know. I'll make it work. I'll make it work, bro. My kids are all grown, bro. My kids are grown. I ain't got babysit. My grandkids ain't my responsibility, but I'm just a bank for them. Back to work, still listening to Coach. Hey, Tony, we'll get back into the Raider Dub. I'm just giving some love to Dub, man, and Tony. Tony, I'll be back. I'll be back to that Raider content, bro. Having to meet up at Tapping Ass in Vegas. Oh, yes, I heard about that. Lo was telling me that Sunday. Okay. We were talking about that, how I'm going to get around because I'm flying over there Sunday. I don't know if I should get there. I'm going to start early, bro. I want to get there before 10, before the game starts. Sally, you getting over there? You flying over there on Sunday? Let me know, man. I'll meet you. Be Fresno boys up there. You already booked everything. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that today. Oh, it's Saturday. I won't be there, bro. I won't be there, bro. Oh, you know what? I might be there Saturday. The 15th is a Sunday. The game's on Monday. I'm coming back Tuesday. Yeah, I won't be there, bro. But Sally got his stuff booked. Night Owl, what's up? Raiders, that's what's up, bro. What up, Night Owl? You should do it. You should do it. Yeah, we had to meet him, man. My bad. I want to ask you where you're staying there, though. I'll be there in spirit, bro. I spoke a stogie. But if you're in town, bro, if you're gonna be there Sunday, shit, I'll be there. If you're gonna watch the game or stick around, I'll be on Sunday morning. I could crash over there. I can't check into my shit until later. So I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna be rolling around looking for people unless I get a straight up, unless I get a straight up shine right there. I haven't been to Vegas since they opened up the stadium, so I don't know where everything's. I know where everything's at, but I haven't been there since. But what I'm looking at booking is being right by the stadium, so I could be at the parking lot or where the tailgates are at. I'll be solo, bro. I'll probably be with Lowe and Gabe, but I don't know what time. I don't know when Gabe there. It's a little trip for Gabe, man. It's like 2 hours, 3 hours. It's 6 hour drive for me, but I'm gonna fly the hour. Oh yeah, that'll be great, Dub. We could haul around water. I don't know if you wild like that, but we'll see what's up. With a stogie and a nice little cool lemonade or whatever. We could go to Tick Sting, see what's up. And smoke probably over there too. I think it's at Palm something. I don't know, man. I don't want to say, but I'll let him pump that up. Here we got Rock, man. Y'all talk about kissing fools on the head. Fool was doing some dumb shit. Apparently, his teammates didn't like getting kissed. That we into that now. Yeah. I told you. I told you things were gonna start popping up. And we're gonna find ways to sour on this dude the way he was acting. But what it boils down to is his rehab, and you ain't gonna get released. So I'm sure worse shit goes on in the locker room, but it's because of his rehab and the way he took, the way he did that, the way he went by doing that. And I just hope that if he's over there grabbing ass, that happens in a locker room. But I don't know about if it's assault type shit. Then get bust his ass. He's gone, man. It's just that we need to replace that. We need to replace that gameplay that he has or could be him. We don't have that. We don't have that factor in our defensive line, and we have to wait and see what we have in it. I'm not a wait and see guy no more. I'm not. I'm not. Oh, yeah, well, this guy's coming up. Nah, you know, it's just that I'm not. I'm not making excuses for this team anymore. I'm not doing that. Dub said you're not wild no more. Yeah, I'm like that, bro. I'm in my mid 50s, but I can't be that. I can't be Vegas gravy no more, bro. I can't 20s and 30s. I can't do that, bro. I'm way out there. When I said wild, I just meant, hey, just stay at K Place a couple hours, drink some lemonade or some sexy sodas, and just relax. That's my shit. Sitting back in a leather chair at a cigar lounge and drinking that. That's all I need, bro. I'll sit there for hours and watch football. That's what I'll do. What up, my boy Rafa? Raw Nation out. Red Nation have a good one. Take care, Gravy. You too, Mike. It's good to see you, man. We're gonna have you on the show. Lo was telling me pretty quick. Talk about that again. Happy birthday, bro. I seen you out there. I seen all your lives out there on the beach, man. I know it was a good turnout. Raider Nation was there. That's great. It brought a new aspect of Raider Nation kicking it, bro. That was dope. I would have loved to have been there, man. You called me, man. It was good talking to you, man. Hearing your voice again, bro. Good seeing all the people with love. Raider Nation's deep. That's great. Great to see all them hoods, man, repping all them people over there, repping all them area codes out there. Good to see. Raider Nation's everywhere, bro. You bringing it out. That's great. Dante Thornton and Gina connected on a 7-yard bomb. I heard that. Rock, you in Fresno too? Where at, bro? Give me the vicinity. What's up? Give me street. Where you at? Give me a street. Um, I heard that. That's great. Great to hear, bro. I'm excited about this, dude. I'm excited about what we see here. And where is? Oh, you're in the Fig Garden. That's a nice little area, bro. You at the Bullard. You a Bullard guy, bro. You a Bullard guy. Bullard High School Knights. I hate Donnie A-Rags. I hate that dude. Did you play football over there? You like Donnie A-Rags? Christian Wilkins looked like everybody else that came through for a bag only. Nah, nah, you got a great opinion, bro. I could see people saying that now, but dude, he made an impact, bro. When he was in Miami, it was a different dude, different guy that we didn't see. Here we go. The cool Kev with the calling us in, rubbing his hands like Birdman. That's bad image on us, and then we're bringing that shit back again to the Raiders. We always got something hollering out during training camp. I just wanted to go away. I don't want to talk about Wilkins no more. I don't want to talk about who's going to replace him. Who do we got as confidence? And I know that Pete Carroll's going to say, this guy is playing good. He's going to give us the shit we want. Just like, Thornton getting these bombs and doing that and doing this and doing that. But the way I'm looking at this here is I'm saying my concern is not Thornton. My concern is not our offense or just the guards I'm concerned with. And my concern is, why is Thornton, a rookie, getting a 70-yard bomb on the DBs that I'm not happy with? Constantly hearing Trey Tucker 2 touchdowns in the middle of the field. They said middle of the field. Brock Bowers, middle of the field, touchdown. What the fuck? We're going through the same shit I was hearing last year. Nah, my kids went to Sunnyside. Yeah, Sunnyside High School, way out there. But that's a long distance for being. Are you from Sunnyside? That's cool. That's good. I don't want my kids going Fresno High. My kids went to Hoover. Got a house in Hoover. What my mom does. We usually, you do the dresses and shit. They went to Hoover. It was mostly for my daughter. My daughter was a great soccer player at Hoover. So they just got stuck there, man. They just got stuck at Hoover, and they all went there. They graduated from Hoover. Central and Cherry. Oh, you way out there, bro. Well, way out there from me. That's country. That's a nice little spot. You out there. You're out there at East End or Malaga. Or out there where Low lives. Low lives in Cowway. We got 3-4 guys to replace Wilkins. I'm good with that. We play 3-4. I was considering that, Kukel. What we have is Adam Butler, and we're not confident in these other dudes doing what, Quincy Wilkins can do. Go 3-4, bro. Have more linebackers over there. You'll stop the run. And then, one of those guys on the outside could be a linebacker. And cover the run, have the perimeter, and then pass rush. And then you could our outside guys that, can they do that? Are they athletic to do that? And two good athletes, very good athletes. Or center, you out there. That's Easton, right? That's Easton, I think. That's dope, though, man. You still Fresno. That's good seeing all these little Fresno people out here. Stick with it, man. I love Fresno. I love my town. Expensive as fuck, but I love it. I don't love nothing. I don't even let Cool Kid talk shit about Fresno. Cali's dope, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want to live nowhere else. I say it, man, but my town is great. My town was great for me, dude. I did a lot of shit for my town. not supporting it, but repping it. I did a lot of shit for Fresno. But good to see I don't want to say Valley boys, but the Fresno boys up in here, man. A lot of them. That's great. Keep it up. We're dope. Fresno's in the house. Just say that more often, man. We go check out a Fresno State game, bro. I got red seeds over there, bro. Been having red seeds for a long time. Me and my wife, we go all the time. Sometimes I be giving them out though, because they start in August, bro. It gets hot. It's hot. So I ain't with that. I ain't with that right now. But yeah, Cool Kev, man, that 3-4 defense, man. I've been thinking back, and I haven't really said it that much, but really, to be honest with you, I'm a nose guard type guy, big nose to occupy that is what I'm into, is what I like to play myself, is to have a nose. and two guys that can rush the passer, but it puts a lot of pressure on the interior of the offensive line. You can line them up next to the A gaps or right up the middle. We have problems with that in our offensive line. That's why our guards are so important right now. Can we got to look at, hey, what we going to do against Chris Jones? We cannot stop this guy. What are we going to do that? Denver got a big time defensive lineman. They're like, we're preparing ourselves for our division. But, Denver inherited Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is a production guy. He's different. He's Waller-like type dude, Maybe not as athletic or as polished as Waller was, but he's like that. He's like Brock Bowers. So we have to defend kind of the same way as we would, as teams would be Brock Bowers. They're getting guys like Brock Bowers in our division. It ain't just Kelsey. But Kelsey always balls out on us, bro. I think he had 2 100-yard games that were only against the Raiders. Tell me why that is. Tell me why that is. And when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? I know I can't be the only one saying, when is this shit going to stop? When is the middle of the field going to be not a liability for our defense? When Patrick Graham is not here anymore, or somebody starts adjusting themselves to it, I agree with stopping a run. That's all game for me. I'm with that. Ain't no problem with that. Stop the run. We couldn't do it, but I was very surprised when I looked at the stats of where our defense was against the run. I was very surprised when we were in the middle of the pack. We were higher than 20, lower than 15. I was surprised. I thought we'd be in the 30s or the 28th or something like that. I was very surprised in the way. So something was done right, or people just didn't run on us, or we stopped it. So I got to take that in consideration. But we cannot say that middle of the field wasn't fucking open. And I'm not just tinkering at that. It's a problem. It's a problem. And it will be a problem until there isn't anybody that we got that I expected us to do. Like the first thing when we lost Morig and we lost Spillane, we're going to get a coverage linebacker. That's what I thought we were going to do. The best one out there that could do that. That's not a safety. I was done with that hybrid shit. And what do? We go get Jamal Adams, a safety, and we say he's going to play Willie. And then we get a bunch of run-stuffing linebackers that are not known to cover. When nowadays your linebackers, your Mike linebacker, if you just have two, your other Willie or he's a Sam has to cover people. They just bring down a safety, make them bigger, and say, cover this guy. It's not that simple. You have to cover. You have to cover an area of your zone. And I'm not sure if even these safeties are big enough or strong or physical enough to be covering tight ends. Jamal Adams might, but Jamal Adams hasn't played. Big name, good number, great fucking football player. I know that. I've seen him. But, man, I don't. But see, Kev, what I'm thinking, man, Kev, is like, who's going to be out there for late cuts? Unless you got a drastic. I don't want somebody's, the waiver wire or somebody's, trash, and that might be our treasure or whatever they say. That we're gonna do something with this defense, and I just see the same shit going, bro. We just got a bunch of low budget Spillanes. That's what I think. Pratt might be the best one. I dig the story of Landon. I dig the story of Devin White trying to come back, but we're hoping that these guys succeed. And I know that's a part of football, but I want to say that it's different. But I want to be when for a couple of years there, bro, we were saying our middle of the football field, we don't have a problem, and now we've been having problems with it. But I'm not with this late cut shit, bro. If you're the 63rd man on the Broncos, I don't want you. Somehow, some way, I want Greedy to make the team. I think he will. I hear he's doing some good things in camp. People are talking about him, but he has a long road, bro. Like I've said, bro. Like I've said, my opinion, I'm not gonna talk shit on a UDFA or a 7th round, 6th round pick that that works his way up, works hard and shit. I appreciate that. So I'm not gonna talk shit on anybody like that. The only one I talk shit on, but if you put expectations on the dude. If we go say Greedy's balling out and he's gonna beat out number one, and not a UDFA, bro. They got a long road, bro. They're already on the bottom. It's hard work brings you up. Athleticism, grasping the defense, doing things like. But I expect him to be on the team. When you start special teams, you get work your way up, bro. And I appreciate dudes that do that. I will never talk shit about a UDFA. Freight train, gravy and nuts listening while I work, man. Thank you for being here while you're working, bro. Don't hurt yourself if you got a job like that. Rock, I think they're two different. They're two different wide receivers, bro. Two different. They're gonna be. They're expected to be two different things. We might be highlighting Thornton from the big 70-yard bomb, whatever. That looks good as far as fans are concerned. But I bet you Best is in there in slot or other side, getting balls, getting reps, getting that. Boom, boom, boom. I bet you he's doing that. But I bet you Best could run a fucking fade too, bro. I want to see. I want to hear. Okay, you got a 70-yard bomb. You got a 70. You got a 50. I want to hear this from Thornton. You got a 5-yard screen and ran it 70 yards. Best will do that and break 2-3 tackles. Best will do that. Speed, I understand, is great to have. I'm not gonna bitch with that. Thornton is a deep threat, and he has a catch radius that's insane. You need a guy like that on your team. Development has to be done with this guy. He we can say he's ready. My thing is, who is he doing this to? I've been talking about why are our DBs letting this? It might be a big ass commitment. Thornton might be amazing, bro. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying this, but our expectations of a rookie is what every team is saying about their rookies right now. Mike Guerrero with his input, Trey Tucker Lockett can be. I'm done with Trey Tucker though, Mike. I'm done with him. I don't. Thornton's threatening his shit, and a rookie's threatening you. You should have been doing 3 years. I don't know, bro. What, Trey Tucker was a 3rd round pick or something like that? Was he? I'm hearing Trey Tucker's having a good camp. I'm not excited for Trey Tucker because Tucker let me down. I expected Trey Tucker to be good last year with the situations that we had. And I know the offense was fucked up. I'll give you that. I'm not going to bring up last year's offense because it wasn't what I expected it to be. He was a rookie when he had a great opportunity with McDaniels, but we say that offense sucked, but hey, they put up numbers that were dope. They put up numbers that were dope. We cannot say that they did it. That offense is wicked, but it just didn't pan out for what we had. Derek Carr threw for almost 4,000 yards. And Devontae Adams had 1,500 grip of touchdowns, and we just didn't win no games. It was just coaching. Sometimes that matters, bro. Coaching does matter, and McDaniels did fuck it up. I agree with that. There we go. I like compete. There we go. Put that Pete in there. Compete as competed. I don't know if my dude Loon made that up. I heard him say that, man, about fucking a week ago. And I was like, hey, man, did he make that shit up? I want to know if he did or not. Eichenberg is showing up. There we go, right here. They call him freaking Eichenberg. I hear that a lot, too. Crescent people again are not dragged by Genty. I expect, I expect Genty to do that at a consistent basis. We don't know what we're gonna. I'm holding back on my expectations with Genty. So right now, and then I'm gonna be. I told you why I just about begged the Holy Lord for us to pick this dude. I would go to sleep at night praying that we would get Ashton Genty. And as much as people debated me, as much as people wanted to move back and get more picks, shit, 9 picks, man, is a lot of picks in the draft, bro. That's more than the draft itself. 2 more than the draft itself. That's a lot of picks. If you want 10 picks, 12 picks, that doesn't really do nothing. If you have 4 fucking 7th round picks, really, what are they going to do for you? You got 2 number ones, 2 number twos. I understand that. But you got a bunch of fucking 6 and 7. What really is going to happen with your team? Logically, be real. Be real. Get out of fantasy land here and think. What's up? That's great to hear from Trey Tucker, but I'm done with him until he pops. Trey Tucker needs to pop out the fucking TV screen, bro. He needs a pop for me. I'll roll with him, bro. But I ain't never. I'm just said I'm done with the dude. I ain't done with Trey Tucker more than I am Tyree. I'm done. I'm number 9. I'm done with that guy. There ain't nothing he can do. But he has he can make me look like shit. Tyree Wilson can make everybody look like shit. But I don't give you chances, bro. If you're a number 1 pick, you done fucked up your pick. AP was a bigger idiot than McDaniels too. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because I was more of a dumb fuck listening to the guy, and we all were. In my opinion, we can't say that none of us rode with this dude, but I'll give him credit, bro, because he didn't have a lick of opinion or what to say in that any room he was in, any room. I don't think because the decisions that were made on that team were so GM like, not coach like, like play the best player. And it was obvious that AOC was a better quarterback than Minshew. And the GM said, we're paying this guy more. So that's what he did. And I just feel like he didn't have a say. He wanted to get Jayden Daniels. I think it was a mistake him saying that. As soon as he said that, Jayden Daniels' stock went up fucking from 10th to us at whatever to fucking number 1. And we fucked up not getting the offensive coordinator. Just think if we would have had Kingsbury with us and Jayden Daniels. He wouldn't have had a season like that, but you never know. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. I'm just reading the chat right now, man. Can't blame AP too much. Yeah, Telesco was very bad for us, and now it shows too because fucking Wilkins. No one knew. I think this is out of character with Wilkins. I don't know. I don't want to say that it is his character, but very uncharacteristic of. Well, he just don't want to be there, man. Some players don't ride with the flow. Maybe he just dug AP and doesn't dig. You never heard anybody not liking Pete Carroll, but I'm sure on the inside people didn't like the way he rolled. But doesn't it concern you bringing Adams, a player that had a career, what people say a career-ending injury, you know, bringing him back isn't a favor and isn't like AP light and isn't, we have problems in this area, so we're going to bring in this guy to do it when there was an opportunity for you. You got a bunch of fucking money. We keep bragging. We have money. What are we doing with it? I understand. If we lose, if we don't win this case with Wilkins, all that money, dead money, the dead money, we're gonna be paying somebody again, like Littleton and shit. Dead caps. We'll be dead. We'll be paying somebody. We'll be paying somebody that ain't on our team. And what team is known for that shit? The Raiders. But it must have been so bad that Wilkins had to go. If you ain't down for I just hope it's that. All this weird shit, that ain't Raider, man. I ain't do it. Here we go. I'm out, Gravy. Back to the grind. Do me an availability for record soon. Vegas itinerary. All right, bro. I'll do that. I'll do that for sure, bro. I got you on IG, man. I'll make sure to keep up you posted with it. It's coming up. I'm out the way, bro. Much love, Dub. Much love, Dub. Here we go, man. Cool Kev again, bro. Every coach brings their pets and tries to revive them. I know they do. He has a little spot for Jamal Adams. He played very good for that. He traded for the dude, I think, big time. Jamal Adams was the Buddha Baker of was the Buddha Baker of the safeties back then, bro. He was like that, bro. He was Jamal Adams was that, and he got traded, bro. He got there was it was I was on a big fan of Jamal Adams when he was back then, but then he had that bad injury. Hey, well, it was tough to see him go out like that, real bad. I think it was a quad injury. It's ripped off the bone, muscle ripped off the bone. Here we go. Jamal Adams was a very smart move, the best coverage linebacker, and making Bowers work for it. I don't think Bowers will have a problem with any linebacker covering him. There's a mismatch from hell unless they got one of the best linebacker coverage. A safety or a best coverage guy is always going to have to cover Brock Bowers. He's that good, already that good. And good tight ends don't have sophomore slumps. Good receivers don't have sophomore slumps. Good running backs don't have sophomore slumps. Quarterbacks do that. Defensive adjust to what you do. Tight ends, receivers, and running backs can adjust to what defenses do. Quarterbacks got to be smart. You got to adjust to what the defense is giving you. Now, if you could do that, you'll be a good quarterback. But they figure you out. They figure your tendencies out. You got a lot of things as a tight end, a running back, and a wide receiver that you can do to manipulate that defense, that coverage. You could get into green grass. You get, moves and routes and different schemes and personnel. You can do that. Quarterback here, and who protects you. But it is a good move, bro. It is a good move. I don't know how they say he's fast. They say he's good. They say he's doing stuff, but he's not. He's playing a position that he's not at, bro. We're doing the same thing that we did with Diablo, and look how frustrated we were with Diablo. Jamal has not played linebacker. He played like that as a safety. Okay, he was a banging safety, but he's not a linebacker. Okay, we don't know what Jamal could play. We don't know if Jamal could play Willie. We don't know that. Damn, I'm not surprised that he is, dude. Dude. He was a sophomore, bro, and he was the best tight end coming out of high school. He was the best at Georgia, and as a sophomore, and there were number one picks that got picked from Georgia that he started over that got picked. That guy Washington Richard, he went to some other team first round pick. He started over him, bro. He was nominated for that award when he was a junior, and he got it when he was a senior. He's fast, big, catch radius is long. He's just different. He gonna be better than Waller was. Waller was just new. You didn't see shit like that. Well, you didn't see shit like Waller. Well, Waller was a receiver, so he just got bigger, and he was a supreme athlete. Waller was a supreme athlete. I didn't dig his mannerisms or the way he took football seriously, but he balled out, bro. Waller balled out. I almost got his jersey by mistake. But dude, you started seeing what Waller was doing when he faking this fucking 2 week injury, 6 months. You know what I mean? It was like Wilkins' injury. I started questioning this shit when he was at the end of last year. Like, what, is this dude ready? What's up? And I thought with the little video he had with what's his name was just look like what was that? Trey Tucker too? Trey Turner too? Trey Taylor too? Yeah, what does this guy do? Get on camera and fuck around? My boy Josh gave him the little Muppet thing, and he fuck around on that, and then on this guy catching fucking Christian Walker's. He just likes being on video, but let me see your gameplay, bro. You won that award, best DB in the nation, bro. Coming from an academy, let me see that. Bump your ass up. Why are we getting chin, man, when we got you there? What's up? That's what I want to see. With these young guys, we're so young back there, it's a problem for me. I'm down to have JB and DCam there. They know already. I'll be if that's what it is, then we're gonna suffer from that. They fucking just do it. But I'll be goddamn if I see Eric Stokes over there because Eric Stokes ain't did shit. Nothing. I'm not satisfied with that. I'm satisfied with JB and DCam over there. Or maybe even Porter, what I'm hearing about him. But I looked at the ESPN had a 32nd ranked cornerback. Here we go. Beat the defender 90% of the time. I wouldn't line up a defender on him. Yeah, you gotta be crazy to just. You can put your best corner on him, but you line up on a big guy like that, it's insane. What Bowers brings to the table as a weapon is you don't know what type guy you got out of this guy because he could do everything. He's been gifted with so much athleticism, and I don't even think we've seen it all yet. We haven't seen what Bowers really can do. We've seen when a badass corner covers Bowers and makes it hard for, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Then the quarterback play we had there, even with AOC, I'll give Bowers the credit that we didn't really know what we was doing, and Bowers got an amazing season. Just looking at what Bowers did to defenders was you can't find that shit in a tight end. He's different, and the NFL's gonna have to adjust to that. He stresses the defensive coordinator out. Just that one dude. But where are other dudes? Look, Thornton in the game plan is gonna trip people out. Is gonna say, man, 6'5", 4.3 speed. You get more worried about if his route tree is not a problem. Okay. Now we gotta know that Besh's route tree is better because you can see it on tape. You can see that he knows the route tree more than just a vertical, deep post, or things like that. If we could do intermediate routes, the way I am about football, I'm not saying the way everybody is like this, because the long game is a thing in the NFL, and the Raiders love that. We love to see that. It's entertaining. We love it, man, and it's gonna be on highlights all the time when you get bombs like that. Chase does it, Jefferson does it, but the type dudes that they are isn't a Thornton, and he can be. You know, he has a radius of catching a ball that's overpowering over any. There ain't no 6'5", unless you got vert. You know, 7-foot vert. You know, you could dunk on a 15-foot rim. You know what I mean? Shit like that. If you got vert like that as a corner, that's why we got corners getting bigger, physical, to hang with these bigger guys, because in the now of football, as these guys not only are having bigger catch radiuses, and it's already migrating down to high school. You know, high school ball. You see it in college where you got big receivers, and then they blend in these little dudes, fast little relay teams that go out there. And that's Tennessee's model as you look at it. Josh Heupel is a very, very creative. He was a quarterback at Tennessee, and his offense is just with that. The problem I have with Thornton is that he's fast, and he's long and big and tall corner. He's not big. He's a tall corner. That's a problem with any aspect of throwing the football to him is going to be a problem for defenders. But if somebody that's bigger, that gets physical with him, usually the problem is he cannot get out of that. You know, you play physical with him. Get him off the ball, jam him. You know, don't let him get going, because once he gets going, it's a wrap, basically. Because you ain't gonna be able to react if you're, you know, react and catch up to him, because he's gone. Whatever route he wants to do, and I'm pretty sure they got their. If this guy does this, then do this. But if he gets the outside leverage on you, and if they let him do that, I hope it happens. Waller was a rapper. Yes, he was. Bowers is too big and strong for DBs. That's the vibe reporters are saying. Haven't seen anything close to the best of Bowers yet. I agree. Rod. Rock also has a good one about Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin has a crazy bird. He's a very athletic guy. Very athletic guy. I've seen him. I've said this before. The year before we went to Bakersfield, me and Lo went to Bakersfield and Gabe. We went and we seen Divine Diablo. And Divine Diablo was a linebacker / safety. But Jeremy Chin is bigger than Divine Diablo right off the bat. And Diablo had the gang weight to be a linebacker. The thing about it with Diablo is Diablo still took the same, and you've seen it. You've seen on gameplay late in the season gameplay that Diablo would take the angles as a safety, like he had a bunch of room. You know what I mean? Like he had all this room to take. His angles were so putrid and like take you out the game putrid to where he made tackles. He made the tackle. He had a bunch of fucking tackles, but you still get a tackle even though the dude gains 30 yards on you or 20 yards on you. You still get a tackle. So That's what Diablo was good at. A running back would get 5 yards on you, get a first down, but you made the tackle. And that's what it was habitual with Diablo. Chin angles as a safety, keep him there. And as a safety, his angles would be perfect. He does that perfect when he was in Washington. His safety angle, the way he does angles as a safety is perfect to stop and run. Now, if he could jump and cover somebody, I look at Scary Terry tape and CD Lamb tape, and we're talking about exceptional, top 10 receivers in that division. Okay, even in his Scary Terry was on his team, and he was and training practice and training camp, just like now, even before the season had started. Scary Terry, you see number 11 there getting burnt all the time, bro. CD Lamb highlight tapes, bro. Look at CD Lamb highlight tapes against Washington, bro. Number 11 is always fucking trying to drag him down, getting catches over him. I'm not gonna say that's gonna happen now. I'm rooting for Jeremy Chin, bro. I'm rooting for Jeremy. I'm rooting for him. He's a great athlete, bro. He's a great athlete. I don't have a problem with Chin, bro. That's not my problem. My problem is the DBs. We got good safeties, but we need another one. Because if something happens to these dudes, who's back there? We got Trey Taylor. Is that who we going to depend on? We always had a problem. We always say this at the middle of the season, and we're not playing that good. Where's our depth? Now, we got two safeties up there. He has two safeties, which is he plays nickel, so there's going to be two safeties. And then you got another guy down in the box playing slot or nickel or whatever. We played nickel all last year because he had to. And these young guys played. What are we going to do different? Because it blends in. Patrick Graham's defense blends into what Pete Carroll does. The Legion of Boom was playing zone, but you had one guy that sold up that whole side of the field. It was hard to get passes. Sherman's pass, breakups was amazing, bro. Do we have that repetitious? They're young guys. We haven't seen that yet. And Eric Stokes is not the answer because he's been in the league 4 years as a backup and didn't have he had a long opportunity because Jair Alexander got hurt early and he had the opportunity to do that. And he had minimal pass breakups, minimal picks. I think he has one pick in his whole career. I like to see pass breakups. Interceptions is great, bro. But in gameplay, as long as the game is going, pass breakups is way better. Picks are great. Sacks are great. But the pressure, the limited time the pressure is there, and you make the quarterback do bad decisions, make hurry up decisions, and that's why people are so into pressures, and making the quarterback make a rush decision, and I can't mention this enough, is that what we did last year, and I'm not saying it's going to happen this year, but I see it because we can have a situation to where it's hard for an offensive line to block somebody for 4 seconds. A long time. That's a long time if you're an offensive lineman. If you got an offensive line that can do that, your quarterback's going to have an amazing year. As far as your quarterback's going to have an amazing year. He's going to throw forever. But the same situation goes defensively when you corners have to cover for fucking 4 seconds and 5 seconds. That's tough to do too. So if we can eliminate and make that quarterback rush that process, make them. It's not always you make that quarterback rush that decision to where he needs to be. where he needs to get the ball off. If we make that faster than what it's unless you're doing a quick game, then you have to make them make a bad decision that bad things will happen. It'll be good for you defensively. So if we got corners that could cover for 5 seconds or 4 seconds or whatever, it could cover their man. And then that route is not designed to be 4 seconds. They got to get the ball out of there, or your quarterback's going to get sacked. If we could do that, if these guys could do that, then we'll be fine. I'm with that. But what we got there is that we have no pass breakups. We don't have any guys with picks. And that we can assume that's going to happen with the Raiders. But just the liabilities that we have as far as not safeties, because our safeties is covering those guys. If you're in zone, you have an area to cover a half with the safety. It has to be one half or the other. You can't let anybody get past you with that. And we were good at that with the two we had. Palomar was involved with that. Can Chin do that? We could say the responsibility of Chin is being the roundup guy, the cleanup dude as far as the run's concerned. The responsibility of that is the linebackers that we inherited. The linebackers we got should sew up the run game. Chin and Adams should be cleanup. They shouldn't be the first guys over here popping a running back. It may happen. It can happen. But the offense is going to assume that these guys, they're going to pull a tackle, pull a guard or something and wipe them out. And believe you me, no DB or no safety wants to go heads up with a 320-pound guard, pulling guard. That's what we AP would call a business decision. That's what it is. I don't know one safety or one DB that's down for that. They don't like it. There's not one that says, "Oh, I love hitting fucking pulling tackles and pulling guards." I don't know one that they'd rather not do it. They would rather cover. So we have one safety, and we're saying that he's going to be good stopping the run. That's really not his job. That's really not his job. I don't want my safety getting beat deep. I want him to cover his half, cover the middle of the field, and have that sewed up to where the receiver has a quick dump off. Epitome of a game that we got beat in a quick game. I was in the hospital, just got off liver transplant. I was watching Miami players. Two ahead. He was getting the ball off a millisecond, bro. Getting the ball, boom, throwing. Two-step drive, one-step drive, boom, hitting it. That beat our coverage, bro. That beats zone. Quick game was designed to beat zone. There's always a counter reaction of a defense. If we didn't have the opportunity, to push it to Bowers, and we overloaded the targets to Bowers and Jacoby. Glad they didn't drop the ball or be inconsistent with that. But we really, really over concentrated their targets because that's all we had. We damn sure didn't have a running game. But I think that'll change this year. I'm very, very confident on our running game. I'm very, very confident on our offensive line because there is not one time that Pete Carroll was out there. And we can say this, okay? We couldn't say it last year, but there was not one time that we said that Pete Carroll did not have a running game. We didn't. We can't say that with Pete Carroll. So that's a factor in his offense. His offensive philosophy is that if we don't run the football, we ain't gonna be shit. And we have a quarterback that's down for that, not stat packing, not making me do what I have to do. Because we were so inconsistent at that as far as running the ball. It really made our quarterbacks suffer a lot. And we talked a lot of shit in our quarterbacks and say they sucked because of game planning and because we couldn't run the football. The worst I've ever seen in the NFL last year was a Raiders running game. And Mortensen was a pretty good running back, man. At where he was, He got 900 yards at Minnesota, which is a passing fucking offense. You know, they got one of the best receivers in the NFL, and their priority is play action, receiving for Dan, blend it in, waste time, and do all that shit. Pete Carroll is different. Pete Carroll is run the football, stop it. If you don't, I'm gonna stay to that. You know, Pete Carroll is my mindset in football. You know, that I'm not. I know that's gonna be directed. Pete Carroll might be a defensive guy and defensive minded type coach. He knows his fucking offense. He wouldn't have got a different type person like Chip Kelly. I would never think that Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll would be on the same staff because it's way different as far as running the football. The design, the way things are, I wouldn't think that Pete Carroll would have this type of electricity in his offense. You know, I thought it would be more like Gruden, tough, you know, a little bit of finesse in there sprinkled in, but there would be like high percentage type plays. Chip Kelly is high percentage all the time. And Chip Kelly kind of got out of, you know, the tempo type set. It's still fast. You still will huddle. But when he first came into the league, it was fucking crazy, his tempo. In college, it was crazy. You know, there was 25 seconds left on the clock when they were snapping the ball. 30 seconds left when he was snapping the ball. That's get up the line, boom. Defensive linemen were fucking gone, bro. And that's how he won games. He did that in Philly for 2 years. And the weapons that he, you know, we got a guy. You know, we got his receiver that he had in Philly. We got a running back that is like that could do that over there. Boise State, a shotgun. You know, we got to line up a shotgun, but our running game under center is that it's not going to be third down. I don't think Chip Kelly is like this, but it's not going to be third down, and we're fucking in shotgun. Third down and long, third down and 2, and we're in shotgun. What offensive coordinator besides Getsy or the guy we had again last year, the two other guys we had, is good? When you seen Norv Turner, his boy, and Norv Turner get into it, you didn't see Aiden O'Connell or Mitchell in shotgun on third down and short. You didn't see that. It's only obvious that we ain't tricky. I don't think that Chip Kelly is that way. It's mind blowing to me why you would be third and short and not be under center. It's mind blowing to me. Why would you don't be like that? And even when I looked at the stats with defense, when I was telling you about that, when I looked at our third down efficiency as far as offense is concerned, middle of the pack, I was amazed at what. And I've been saying this and not educating myself. I talk shit on myself that I was amazed at the way our stats were on third down. I thought we were bottom of the barrel on third down. But I educated myself. Because what we did was that we short passed it. We quick gamed it. And I think when the Turners got in there, it kind of saved our offense. You know, especially when Norv Turner got in there, it saved our offense as far as, you know, since here McCormick started running it a little bit more, we started getting more effective as far as the zone blocks and running inside the powers. We really didn't hit the perimeter that much, but it was good. I enjoyed that. We won those 2 games. Was Sincere got us there. And I think just with Jeanty, with his all around running skills, will get us back going to that. You know, when we get 3.94 a yard, bro, that means a lot. That means a grip back if you get, 4 yards of carry. Second down and 6 is dope. It changes. You open up your playbook to anything. But when the situation we were in, second and 9, second and 12. It minimizes that playbook to where you got to pass. Your options are minimal, but we can change that. And I know Pete will, because Pete likes to run a football. Now, we can't get, really, really too happy and say, well, we're too predictable because he keeps running the football. That's what Chip Kelly does. But just was his game plan, and we're gonna see a lot of throwing the football. I think he's gonna mix it up. But you get a first down bump tempo, and you make them big boys just keep grinding and grinding. Then you run it, and then you get 8 yards, and then you throw it again and make those guys run. Pass rush you, it gets hard for them big boys up front, and your offensive lineman. We're gonna be in shape. We're gonna be in shape, and that's why I think that Kappa is with that, because when Chip Kelly was in Philly and Philadelphia was running that high tempo game that he brought to the NFL, the Philly didn't like that. The offensive lineman didn't like that. Shady didn't like that because it was different for them. It was different. But Shady had his best year running the football when Chip Kelly was his head coach. Pro Bowl year, his only Pro Bowl. Chip Kelly might not be a good dude, but he fucking knows how to call offense, and that's all we need to worry about. We might have our opinions on Chip Kelly about the way he coaches, because I'll tell you right now, I've been seminars with him. I went to a seminar when Chip Kelly was there, and he was at UCLA, in the beginning stages of UCLA, and he is an asshole. There'll be dudes over there chewing gum and shit, and he would see them, and he would point them out and say, "Quit doing that. I won't be looking at you chewing gum." But just his precise, you got to do this first before this can happen, and his knowledge of the game, and he checks out wing T shit. He checks out double wing stuff. He goes back old school. He'll bring out a lot of different stuff, and I dig that about him. It's all boils down to pre-snap. Yes, it does. Erab and Isaiah. Pre-snap reads as far as linebacker defense is concerned. Those are the two guys that I think should be our dots. Our dots back there, bro. He's done it before. Pratt has done it before. The coverage, bro, is all I'm doing. What up, Raider Nation? Jason, my boy. Great shows, man, you've been having. Big ups to Raider Nation, Jason. Go check him out, man. His show is great. I'll support anybody that's down for me. Jason's a real good. Go check his content out. He has a couple of shows with some dudes, some life stuff. He has with Chris. They have a morning show. I check that out. Support all your dudes, man. Even the dudes that don't dig me or my crew, support them too. We're all Raiders up. I'm not gonna talk shit on anybody, man, that supports my team and says the different type shit. All of us are saying different type shit. But if you expect Gravy to be all we cool and all that, and we don't have no problems at this area. If it was that way, we'd be winning Super Bowls. The only people that can say that is Philly. And I bet you they're talking about, well, we got this and we got that, and everything ain't all good over there. This is Hurts a top 10 quarterback. Do we think that? What about our quarterback play? I'm hearing shit. There's a competition now. I tried to squash that last night, but I brought it up again, and I said, nah, quit saying that. The competition is for the 2 spot, and AOC is battling the rookie we got for the 2nd spot. That's what it is. And that's what I think Hondo could say, Aiden O'Connell is fucking badass. I expect Aiden O'Connell to get better. But Aiden O'Connell isn't Geno Smith better. We're going to hear Aiden O'Connell throwing these touchdowns and doing all that he's supposed to do. They ain't going to say Aiden O'Connell was roughing it. The people are, though. My boy Q, he's a Fresno boy. He was a DJ in Fresno for 10 years, bro. I used to listen to him. I met the dude.
Unknown caller.
There to go again. And we can't say that because the dudes are gonna say that these guys are having great days. Appreciate that. Take that to heat as that, yeah, he's getting better. We're in a situation where AOC isn't expected to do the best shit that we want him to be. Let him grow. He's in his fourth year, and he's or third year, whatever the fuck it is, and he's gonna finally get the time to recognize what he can be. Not, I'm gonna throw his ass in there. And I'm hoping that AOC is gonna be successful. There go my ringtone again. Michael Guerrero, man. Thank you for stepping up with me, Mike Guerrero, man. I thought you didn't like me no more. Oh, you stuck with me. But that quarterback battle is not happening. If you're on a show that says there's a battle for Geno Smith and AOC, unless there's an injury, and I don't expect Geno Smith to get a lot of play in preseason, I expect AOC to have play. Now, if AOC is successful in preseason, I expect that. He better be, because he has he better. He has the experience to be thrown out there. But we're in a situation. We should be happy. We should be happy that AOC is getting better, bro. AOC is going to be the guy that we thought he was 2 years ago. All world, all this, all that. That's what he's going in the right direction. That's what I want. But he's not Geno Smith direction yet. I expect it. Then maybe I might be an AOC starting type guy. Maybe that's the game plan. Maybe that's the game plan right here. Get OC moving. He's going to see different shit, how he does in Chip Kelly's office, which is totally different. And then, he might have done it at Purdue a little bit, but it might have been the same philosophy, but it's not Chip Kelly philosophy. Chip Kelly wasn't the offensive coordinator. And Chip Kelly has changed. Bro. Chip Kelly is way different than what he was in Philly. You see that in Ohio State. Ohio State wasn't running no tempo. They went out there gassing defenses. They just have better players. And the same aspect is with the NFL. Where's our players at? Are we young? We're a young team, bro. We're a young team, and I'm taking that into consideration. We're over here saying 12 and some records. Bro, if that happens, dude, I'm going to be ecstatic and fucking say, yeah, I was wrong about this dude. I was wrong about this guy. They're going to ball out. But my concerns pre-game plan is like, I got this game plan with the guards. Who's going to win that battle? That's the competition. Who's going to win that battle right there? Who's going to win that battle at the guard positions? Is it Parham? A lot of people don't like Parham. My boy Jeff, y'all talking about I don't like Parham. Parham can move. Parham can move. And when we run zone, outside zone, you're moving more than you are inside zone. It's different. And it's way different when you're under center and you're in shotgun. Offensively, it's way different. I like Parham in an outside zone concept. You pull, get out there, he can, and I know he can get there. It's just like we're gonna be moving, and the defender wants to go through Parham. He's moving. And so the tackle's going to go that way too and smash his ass out. Then you get close to the quarterback or running back. The quarterback's moving with you. It's not like the lineman moving, the quarterback stays there. He's moving too. He's moving with the protection. And that's what deviates the defense. They're not used to that. Do you got defenders that can move their legs like your offensive lineman can? And mismatching and numbers, it all adds up. It ain't just line up and play anymore. It's different. There's philosophies with it, and the way Chip Kelly devises offensive schemes and offensive gameplay and the way their footwork is and the way they're designed to go. You can have a center pull. Look at Philly. Kelsey's a pull all the time, and that's and if you're playing a 3-4 defense, you eliminate that nose guard right off the bat because he's not meant to move with you. You're just going with them, so you're out the play. You're out the backfield. You're not going in the backfield doing what you're supposed to do. And usually defenses, when they see the offense go one way, you're going that way. So you have to react to it. And then other way, outside zone, backside. Brock Bowers, backside. Jacoby Myers, backside. Thornton D. You're concentrating. You're focusing. The focal point of all that inside front is the linemen. You see what I mean? And Chip Kelly is perfect at that. The whole will develop as you go. So we got to watch that. We got to pay attention to that. I'll get more decisive with that as I see what Chip Kelly does at certain situations. I really can't say what he's going to do, but I know it's going to be creative. I know it's going to be into now because he goes to shit. He goes to everybody's shit. He'll go to Kingsbury's seminar. All these dudes have seminars. That's how they get paid in off season. They go to seminars. They go to college. So they go to college practices. They go to everywhere, man, to see up-to-date shit. I went to where I went to when I seen Chip Kelly was at a Wing T camp, a Wing T seminar. And Wing T doesn't get played in the NFL, but there's diversions of it. You see it all the time. Kansas City does it. Double wing. Kansas City does that. Philly does that. Zone blocking is Wing T shit. Small offensive lineman moving. It came from that. Moving. The big guys aren't bull rushing. They got to move. So if they don't have the legs for it, and you put tempo in there, they can't get a rest, bro. It's hard to sub them big guys out, and then you have 10 guys out on the field. That's what they want you to do. You have 10 guys on the field. Let's go. That's what I hope it happens. I want to see the Raiders do that because that's my type of offense. Tire your big boys out. Make your linebackers get tired. And then you're getting fucking 6 yards of carry. You're doing that. And the time just keeps going. Make them call their timeouts. Make them call a timeout to sub. And then next thing you know, it's the fourth quarter. They ain't got no more timeouts. Your fat boys are tired. You ain't ready. Boom. You win the game decisively by running the fucking football. That's what I want. And then the defense, stop them on third down. That's basically what you need to do. Shut down first down, shut down third down. Get off the field. Let the offense go over there and score points. That's easy to say, but that's how football should go. Coach, Angela Johnson, Reds, comedian, cheerleader, Raiders 2003 Super Bowl team from North Carolina. Yeah. She came to Fresno, Steve. My daughter seen her. She said she was pretty funny. I seen her show like on Netflix or something like that. She's been a funny girl. I knew she was. I seen her in Oakland, cheerleading and stuff. She was hot back then, but she look old now. She a cougar now. Pat had Gonzalez lead practice limping. Oh, there we go, Alex. Man, they were being here, bro. General will be the starter, no doubt. Yes, he's more athletic. He can move. I just hope that he makes that offense move the way at the speed and the way I anticipate it to be. I went at length a rant saying this is the way it should be. This is the way. I'll go back to that. We got players in the league that defensive linemen, especially, that are great athletes that don't get tired as quick, that are in shape. But back then, when Chip Kelly was doing this in Philly, you still had your big 340-pound nose guards, tackles, that got tired, bro. They had your two down and then rotate. But if you don't have time to do that, and then what would mess up the NFL is that you got to wait for a defensive lineman to get up, and then their way now, the defenses of doing that is having you get up slowly, injury, fake an injury, have your big boys get up quick because they can't sub. If you do tempo, unless you bring somebody in, they can bring somebody in. But if you don't bring nobody in, you still have the same personnel there, and you're lined up. They can't sub. But that'll mess up football because that's an advantage the offense have. Even all the advantages that the offensive had anyways, That would be drastic for a guy like Chip Kelly that does tempo type stuff. And he kind of went down on the tempo. He might bring it back up. I would, because even though the better athletes are defensive linemen, and you only have two or one nose guard or whatever, and you got more pass rush and linebackers are rushing and safeties are going in. The more big men you have stopping a run, and you run zone blocking, the more that they're going to have to move. Defensive linemen don't want to move all over the place. They don't. And the big heavy guys that teams still have, most of the teams still have these big heavy guys, but they're athletes. So the zone really doesn't bother them. But if you have an outside zone guy when you want to hit the perimeter and you're on one hash and you got to go all the way to the other hash 13 times in a row, that you're winning the game plan. You're outdoing them. And next thing you know, you get first down. And it just adds up, bro, to where you're out of guys. They're all tired. And then you start seeing that on the sideline where they're sucking on fucking oxygen. They're getting water. They got towels. They're all fucked up. That's when you're dominating the line of scrimmage. And that's the way I play. I want to see that. It can happen in power offenses. But your man-on-man, who has the weight room, who's doing that shit. The way we pressure people is that way. Wilkins was a great athlete that got sacks as a defensive tackle. I don't expect defensive tackles to be getting sacks. He was one of those guys. So who's going to do that with us? Who's going to be that team? It's going to be a whole new mix of players that we're going to have with Adam Butler. Adam Butler is a guy that does his job. Adam Butler does what he has to do. Takes up space, clogs up the middle. Where's that other guy at? We're going to have a guy that does that, but is he going to get sacks? Is he going to get pressure on a quarterback? Is the quarterback going to have a lot of time? It starts there. And we lost the guy that did that. He did it to himself. I understand all that. He was fucked up, messed up what he did. But we got to get back up. Where's that backup guy? Lalu is the guy that I'm hearing, the Tiki guy, the backup guy, whatever. Can they do that with the inconsistency that they have in the stats? Never got an opportunity. Well, that's bad. That's not good. I don't want guys developing as they go. That can happen in the cornerback room. That can happen, but defensive tackles, that's where it starts. AB the dog, even get sacked and pressure. Who they, the AB? Lois Curly. Hey, what up, Dark Man? How you doing? Almost in 3 hours here, fella. That's a good one, Dark. I'm sure Lowe's seeing that. I don't even know if he's on. I'm with Adam Butler, man. I'm glad he got signed, bro. I'm glad he we got him back. I'm glad he's with us. That takes the pressure off. Because if Adam Butler wouldn't have been there, we'd have major problems. I would have been talking shit more than I am. But my concern is not only replacing Christian Wilkins. Now, we can say that Christian Wilkins didn't do shit, or he only had him 5 games and he didn't do nothing. That's cool. You can say that. But do we have that type guy? We know what Christian Wilkins could have did, and we were all on that note. If Christian Wilkins didn't do what he did right now, we'll be all pumped up getting ready for Christian Wilkins to do what he does. And he's known for doing what he does. He's decorated. So it's going to hurt our team. No matter what he did, it's going to hurt our team what he did. Even though he was there or not. Did we prepare ourselves for this? Yeah, we got 2 rookies. That's the future. Now, the development of them is up to when they play. The game is in games and being what they're doing, because in preseason, you're getting vanilla offenses. You're getting the rotating players. You got to disrupt that guard. If he's pulling or not, you got to disrupt that. Get out of the way. Just like I mentioned, if he's out to play and just running with a tackle, he's not doing nothing. He's not putting pressure on the quarterback. Those guys are supposed to clog up. Their job is to sew up the line of scrimmage. It's really not the pass rush. That's an asset. That's an asset thing. That's athleticism. That's getting out, getting the quarterback. That's your main objective. But the thing is to stop the run up the middle. Because what's closer to the first down, outside or fucking right up the damn middle, right up the middle. Your inside running game should be on point if you want to win in National Football League. The perimeter is great. That's flashy. You got a guy like Mostert, and I ain't mentioned this dude yet. We ought to be happy and ecstatic that we got a guy with that speed as a running back. There ain't no guy like that. That fast. He just left a team that has a running back that fast. Miami, that A-Chain, he's just as fast as Mostert is. And Mostart's in his, 29, 30 years old, and he's still the fastest running back on the field. He'll be one of the fastest players on the field. I'm just happy that we got Mostert. Because when that dude hits a perimeter and he gets some room, he ain't gonna be bouncing off people like Genty is. But when he gets gone, ain't nobody snatching that guy. They're gonna give up. You're gonna see cornerbacks and linebackers give up because they know. But you have the reputation of doing that. Now, can we get that? A little bit of a Mostert. I don't know if he's gonna have the opportunities, but I know that outside perimeter game is gonna be Mostert. And Mostert can score. He's known for that. He can score touchdowns. Let's go to another one, in my opinion. Let's go to Alec first, dude. Butler and Coach were lucky to have their and great work. They have great work ethics, man, but I know Adam Butler can do things. I seen it. We seen it. Kuntz is unknown, bro. Can he dominate that outside? I know he has bend. I know he has push. He get there. Can he do it? My optimism for Kuntz is my expectations for Kuntz is get there, man. Take the pressure off Max Crosby. And Max Crosby has to know that, hey, you could be in there all you want, bro, but you're getting at the age. To be a defensive player of the year, bro, and to have the sacks you want, you gotta sacrifice a lot. And you have to sit there and say, look, man, this situation right here and the defenses that we're running and the game flow, the way the game is going, if it's unnecessary for you to, take a couple of plays off to get a breather and make you better, But you having this, I respect that, what you do, and there's nothing taken away from you. But later on, bro, you're going to realize that you damaged your body by doing that. And you're more efficient, healthy than you are damaged. And he has to realize that. And I'm sure he does. He's getting told that. But football players are different. Max Crosby's a different dude. I ain't got no complaints with Max Crosby, but I've had complaints about him, about his money and shit. Quit bitching about it. Keep it to yourself. I don't like shit like that. But, and we're going to have to hear that from him again in 2 years. Yeah, the same shit, money, guaranteed money, as everybody does. And I wish he was more like Jacoby and Miller. We have to sign Miller. We have to sign him. If we don't, then we might as well just if we don't sign Miller, then we might as well it must be going good because they're both there. It must be going good. And we really don't have to talk to them until the end of the season. They're not gonna like it. Or there's a certain point in the season where they have to be signed to be in the books or something. But they want to know that they're getting paid for what they do. And, if an injury happens and that contract is already there. So if we come in a situation to where we don't sign these guys until the end of the season, if I was there, I would bounce the way the NFL thinking is. I would bounce. I was like, you know what? You don't want to take care of me right now. I'm not that much of an asset to you. I'll go check somewhere else. And they'll be lining up to get those two dudes. I bet you. There's teams out there that'll be lining up to get Jacoby. He doesn't drop footballs. And what offensive coordinator wouldn't want that? And we can say, hey, Besh, he doesn't drop footballs in college, but he's new, man. He's brand new, and we got to take this newness. And I know it's easy to accept, but I'm into the know that rookies are gonna do rookie shit. They gotta learn pre-snap stuff. They gotta learn what defenses are. They gotta learn what type coverage that the DB could be doing something and being something else, right? Like that. And they're faster. You know, DBs are you ain't playing. You know, Akron or Mississippi State or shit like that. It's different. All these guys are fast. All these DBs are fast, and they can hang with you, and they'll hit you. They're gonna be at spots that you never quicker than you thought. So they got to learn that, and the way they learn is being out there, and they're gonna be out there. I expect them rookies to be out there. I'm just looking forward to it, and we're gonna talk about it at length. We're gonna talk about it all the time, and I just can't wait to be able to to talk about it with you guys. If Chip Kelly uses JJ Pegues as a running back on special plays, I will know the fact Chip. That right there is just an asset, bro. You know what I mean? It's having a defensive tackle be a fullback and shit is an asset, is a special play type shit. You know, I want JJ Pegues to be a defensive tackle to make an impact as a defensive tackle. If he's in there just to run a football or you know, and that'll be tough to stop, but they'll stop it. There's just as big if he can't get if he's not fast enough, he could do that in college, bro. But there's bigger defensive tackles that could get him in the line of scrimmage. He's not that quick. I don't you see that with special guys. And your offense is and we better be winning by fucking 20 points, bro. I don't want to see that on a game decision type game. What are we gonna say if Pegues gets in there and gets a ball and he doesn't score? Or we're gonna fuck what you do that for? I don't want to say that. So we better be winning by a lot. If that happens, then I'll get excited about it. But I think we got. He's an athlete. So for doing that, he's a good athlete. He's a big guy. You know, he's not that big, but he's getting there. He's still a baby. He's still a kid. You know, and where he was picked, we got to slow down where he was at. You know, he's 6th-round pick or something like that. We got to wait. I do expect him to be used, you know, but I want him used what he does. I'm not overexcited about him playing fullback. I want a running backs to be doing that shit. You know, I want to give Aston Genty or bring Zeus. I don't want Zeus. I don't want to be dependent on Zeus to get us a 31. That's what we got fucking Aston Genty for. People might say, hey, if it's 31 and Genty needs a breather, nah, motherfucker, get out there and fucking get that 31. What's up? Do that. That's what I want. That's the reason why we got this dude number one to see what's up about that. If we can't use him at that, if you 2 down back, then what the fuck do we have you on first down? Well, we need the yards at first down. First down is a very important, very, very, very important down. We lost 90% of those downs last year. So you look at that if you coach ball. What do we do on first down? How many times are we behind the chains on fucking first and second down? We got a guy that can do that. And we got a guy that it's hard to tackle. We got him and Besh hard to tackle. We don't talk about Besh enough. And I want to bring that up. I want to say, man, this guy's when he has the ball in his hand, he takes the ball from defenders when he's running routes. And that's what we need. That's what we got to look at. In a box, in the zone, in the middle of the field, what we're not good at. We got to be good at that. You know, Jacoby didn't drop shit, and he was in the middle of the field at the time. We'll have him doing outs, only on first down marker. Jacoby is not only a possession receiver, he gets you first down. And he get you behind the boundary. Jacoby Myers is fast too, bro. I really don't understand why Kobe is so underrated. Kobe who? Yeah, seems like a price. We just got to go up. Oh, Jacoby. I don't think Jacoby's underweight. He's well recognized in the NFL. We treat him disrespectfully right now by not signing him. Beginning of the season, I was the intentions that it was in the works, but now it's not, and then we're still dragging it because they really do have to sign these dudes to the end of the season, and they're not bitching, they're there, so things are probably going well. But we need to sign these guys, and we want to be better offense. Unless their intention was they got these two receivers to replace Jacoby. We got these offensive linemen or what that tackle to replace Miller, but none of these offensive linemen are from what I'm hearing, doing anything to take that spot. The future rookies are coming in with the ability to play multiple positions, bro. Yeah, yeah. But I don't expect that when we got a guy like Miller and we bring in a guy at I don't know if it's the Grant or the other guy that to play tackle. I would rather have Miller signed and then have this dude develop. And then he was we got two offensive linemen in a row, so their future is great with the Raiders because maybe they have intentions of Miller saying, nah, or we're going to lowball Miller. Dude, I'm a Jack Jones guy. People can say, fuck Jack Jones. I thought we should have kept him. No matter what type of dude he is. He's not that bad. Beckett 6'1", 215, tight end. You what? Okay, Besh is 6'1", 215, tight end. If he's on the field with Jacoby and Brock Bowers, I would shrink the field with the safety coming up in the box and fuck them right in. I got passing downs. I'll run right up your ass. That's what I'll do. If you got three receivers and Brock Bowers have the block, Besh is not a tight end. Are you just saying any tight end is in there? That's the four. Myers does catch everything. It's crazy stuff. Yeah, he didn't drop a football last year. That's very impressive. Very few did that in the NFL. Very few do that in the NFL. And then that's an asset we got, man. That's a very underrated stat that people are saying it now. But Jacoby Myers is an asset on catching a football. The epitome of catching ball. Doesn't drop a football is very impressive. And you think if we let this guy go that people ain't gonna recognize that? And then who do we got to recover that? A rookie? Or these other no-name guys that we're getting? We think Anthony Dorsett gonna come in and take Jacoby Myers' spot? Nah. Anthony Dorsett special teamer. Good luck to him, but Jack Jones no longer out. Yeah. Good luck to Jack Jones. I don't know if he's good. They got rid of Jalen, right? They got rid of Jalen, right? So I don't think Jack Jones will cover that, but his instinctiveness and his pursuit to the football is just like that. He has those traits, but coverage, nah, he can't cover it like Ramsey can. It would have been great to get a guy like Ramsey. I would feel more comfortable about our DBs if we had a guy like Ramsey. Then we could one side of the field be semi locked up, and the other guys we could blend in and we do good. But if we had Jack Jones and then another guy like Jalen, I won't even be bitching about the DB room. We'll be young backups. And then we have those guys. We have Dorian Porter there and JB and Decam. Yeah. Then you see what I'm getting at? Then we would have been good. But Jalen Ramsey signed for a lot of money. And he's worth a lot of money, bro. He's a Pro Bowler. Yeah, I don't think he won a Super Bowl. So guys like that would be. Oh, and that guy Hilton. Yeah, I said that before. I mentioned that. Somebody said that they got both of them. Mike Hill signs 1 year deal. We let him go, so I guess we're cool. And there's pretty much nobody left. There's receivers left, but those are high dollar guys that nobody wants. I we'll see in camp if we make a drastic mistake, a drastic move to get a receiver. If we show that we got problems, but I'm pretty sure unless somebody sees that somebody isn't doing things right, like the rookies are doing this, we're just going to hear good things about these rookies playing. But what do me this? If we're seeing that, Besh and Trey Tucker and Thornton is getting all these bombs and it's 11 on 11 and we're defensively letting this happen, then we got to question our DBs. It's not going to be hard for a defense to cover these wide receivers collectively as a defense. Now, we're not doing that. If it's 11 on 11, your defense cannot let a 70-yard bomb happen to you. And what I'm hearing from these guys that are there, and if you catch a 70-yard bomb, it doesn't matter if you're in fucking pads or not. You might be weighed down, but so is the receiver. So if these guys are getting, we're saying that Trey Tucker's getting this in the middle and Besh is getting this in the middle and we're getting 70-yard bombs. Trey Tucker got a 60-yard. What the fuck are we doing secondary wise? What's going on here? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. I know these guys are going to be good. I know these guys are going to be, make an impact on the offense because they're special. Besh is special. Thornton is a special guy. You don't see that. You don't see a 6'5" guy with that type of speed. It's different. But what is who's covering this guy? Why is that happening? It could be a perfect throw. We give recognition to the quarterback, and he might be faster than whoever. But what's going on here? There's guys just like Thornton in NFL, just as fast, just as big, just as strong, with the same catch radius. Now we have this corner that's covering Thornton, letting this happen all the time. Then we can't be cool and say this is happening. Why aren't we saying, hey man, why is this happening? That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm wondering. I know it's early, but we're gonna see what these guys are about in a little bit. And where you look at preseason and say, hey, are these guys getting better? Are these guys in the pro game? It's going to be different than when you're playing your own guys because different players, you're not going to be used to these guys covering you, bumping you, rubbing you the wrong, whatever, and being in a certain position because they have their tenacities too, but different tenacities that you don't know about unless you study that. But it takes game tape. You'll be watching these guys cover you. You don't know who's covering you. You'll know in game. When you play regular games, you're going to know who that guy is on your side. You know his tenacity. You know what he does. If he gives you the outside leverage, if he stops you from getting inside leverage. You know that, what this linebacker does. If his priority is stopping the run. If this safety, Jamal Adams comes down and he's pressing. He goes a little bit past the linebacker a little bit when he's blitzing. You see shit like that. Or he stays back when he's gonna go drop back in coverage. So you gotta see stuff like that. That's a development of these young receivers that I know that has to happen. And are you ready for that? Are you gonna see that? Otherwise, you're gonna make mistakes and get popped. They go drop footballs. You're gonna get the picks are gonna happen. Yeah, you're right, Rod. I agree with that too, bro. Robert Stevens, Ken Allen, Cooper still on side, yeah. But they're gonna want some money, bro. I don't think we like that right now. We're on a budget. Got a bunch of money, but we're on a budget. I think we're going to overspend. I'm not even going to say we're going to overspend next year because we got a bunch. We're in the same boat because we have a bunch of one-year guys. Our linebackers are all one-year contracts. I think. So most of our linebackers ain't going to be there. If not, they get cut. Our quickest and most side guy is Devin White. I heard shit about him all this whole season. Yeah, we need to push that, bro. We can't say, oh, we got this guy to replace Miller. We don't. We do not have anybody to replace Miller. And if we don't sign him, it's an aspect. The longer it goes, the more I'm gonna talk about it. So we're just in the beginning stage. It's been going on for a while already. So when are we gonna say we need to get this guy? Before he starts saying, I'm gonna keep myself healthy for the next team I'm gonna play on, we shouldn't let it get to that. Because NFL players do that. Their bodies is their tool. So they're not going to go out there not paid the next year and sacrifice their bodies for nothing. They're going to save it for the next one. Who wouldn't do that? That's the way they think. Sad to say, but that's the way they think. All this, oh, you can love your team and say you want to be here and all that shit, but if the money's right, you'll stay. But if it's not, you're gone. You're gone to the next bidder that will give that to you. And that's the way it goes. But hey, man, I want to thank everybody. I'm going to call it quits. We're 3 hours and 15 minutes in. Thank you for being here, man. We had almost close to 40 in the hot spot. We was hot at 40 people getting down, asking questions. I mostly got to the chat and answered what you guys were talking about. That was great, man. I had my little opportunity. I just finished watching this Deion. Poor Deion, man. I thought I was hearing it earlier this morning. I was up early. I thought he was going to give it up. But that's good that Deion's back in football coaching. I dig that, man. I dig Deion as a coach, and I dig him as a father. I think he's doing everything right. It's weird how people disrespect Deion Sanders and what he's bringing to college football. It's weird that we think that way about a coach that really cares about his players, even though they were his kids. What father wouldn't do that? You don't let people manipulate or talk about your players, and then he defends his players, and that's what you should do. If you mess up and make us look bad, then you got to go. But he's the type guy that'll tell your parents, I'm gonna make your, and you know that sincerely, that I'm gonna make your child a man, and he talks about that. Here we go. J-Ro, what's up, man? Gravy, do you even like this team? Can you give us one positive about them? I like our quarterback. I like that situation. I like our running back situation. Our special teams look good. I like this team. The team has a lot of potential. But I can't really say, bro, that are you this 15 win type guy or 13 win type guy? Are you saying that Pete Carroll is going to be a 12 win type rotation, that type thing with young players? Are we going to be the Washington? They're blessed. Washington was blessed. It can happen. They show you that it can happen. And they're overdoing it so much that they're predicted to go to the Super Bowl. Some people have them going to the Super Bowl. It was an amazing season. Okay, I've been manipulated and told J-Ro that we were gonna be this and that and this and that for 25 years, bro. Just about, off and on. Maybe once we did successful go to the playoffs. But what happened during that season was fucked up. And we had good players, and then the next year we fell off. my enthusiasm of this team is the same way it's always been. I'm rolling with them. All I'm doing is bringing up questions. We got to realize everything ain't all good over there, bro. Everything ain't all good over here. We got to ask questions about it. And if you think that hearing in an OTA when a coach is not going to say something's wrong, a head coach or offensive coordinator or somebody is not going to say something is wrong with this team, then something is wrong, because they're not going to do that. Any coach is not going to say something's wrong with this. Something's wrong with this. We got problems here. But what I tell you what I did here is that Pete Carroll gave a semi code, as coaches say, we're young at this position. We're super young at this position, and they're growing. And that was the DB room. So that's code for me to say, all right, we're gonna have problems there, because you got to be comfortable, even though everything is set, bro. Train on OTAs, we think this is Pee Wee League where you got to find somebody to put in there. No, their roster is set, bro. They know who's gonna start. You have a battle at guard, but they know who has that upper hand. In the cornerback room, they know it ain't competition is that okay, but it's competition for second, third, fourth, and down the line, bro. They know who's in there, who's taking over that spot. But I feel good about this team, bro. Just like you said right now. Just like you said right now, bro. Maybe it could be. I think your ceiling is 11 wins, but no shade. It seems like you don't like anything about that. It seems that way, bro. And that's the way I don't want it to be. I'm just questioning the concerns that I have. Do you have concerns with this team? Or is everything all good? You got to be insane of what happened of us losing Wilkins. You know, for what Wilkins has done in his career. You got to be insane to think that we're not downgrading, that the next person up is not going to be a downgrade from what Wilkins. It's a big drop-off, bro. I'm saying that. And ain't all good right there. We can say, hey, Lalu's going to take over that spot. Yeah, but what has he done, bro? And then he can develop into this guy, and he did whatever. He didn't do shit last year. He just maintained that spot, but he didn't do Christian Wilkins shit. You know, that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm concerned about that area. I'm concerned that we have rookies out there. If you think a rookie, it would be amazing that Thornton goes out there and beat Randy Moss and tear up the shit as a rookie. That'd be amazing. But how many times does that happen? Unless you're special, bro. You know, do we think Thornton's Chase? Do we think Thornton's Jefferson type guy? Is he doing that? Because we hear he had to take a 70-yard bomb today on a deep bomb. That's great. I like hearing that. I love hearing that. But he's gonna do rookie shit. You know, are we comfortable with that? If something happens to Thornton, what now? If something happens to Besh, what now? We're not talking about Besh at all. I'm not hearing shit about Besh. Nah, but all right, you with me? I just finally feel a little good about this team after 45 years. After 45 years, you longer than me. So they've been super. I went through the super bad stages in the 2000s, and I with Art Shell and all that. That's super bad, but it ain't like that. Okay, but we have guys in the making, but the way we are now, as I'm done with that, bro. I'm done with saying, overcorrecting myself that we're gonna have 11, 12 wins, and we didn't get guys that could do that. I feel that we didn't get guys that didn't do that. And I see you with the concerns, but I throw back that question. Did you feel good about that? Wilkins played 5 games. Yes, he did. But we won 2 games when he was in there. It might have not been an impact that he did. I seen those games he was in. I concentrated on Wilkins and what he did. He took double teams on. He took chips. He took pressure off Max Crosby. And then when Lalu went in there, it was one-on-one, bro. Lalu didn't have any sacks. I don't think. The pressure wasn't there as what Wilkins did in 5 games. You could tell Wilkins was in the game, bro. They were concerned about Wilkins being inside there. We don't have that. It's going to come. I hope it comes with Lalu. I'm rooting for the dudes. It's just a concern I have, bro. I'll be real with you. I'm not going to say everything's all good. You know, my concern is that. And maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm different, J-Ro. And maybe you don't like it. You know, it's your. I'm not pressuring you to watch me, bro. But the way I am with you know, even with my boys, bro, like we're at that time now where we're excited, and I am, bro. I want us to win. I want us to win, but I'm not gonna fall through this. Everything is all right, bullshit. When it doesn't happen, and then I'm defending myself. I'm not gonna sit here and say I told you Lalu was a good dude. I don't want that to happen. I told you that, you know, Darian Porter was going to be a rookie and do rookie shit and do all that. All right? I'm telling you that. I'm not going to say that to you, but expect it. I'm saying watch out, bro. That, you know, that little 11-12 game with an amazing season, if it happens, I'm going to be with that, bro. And I'll say I'm wrong. I'll say fuck Eric Stokes, you know, balled out, all pro, man. I give it up to him, man. He changed me. I've done that before, bro. I've done that before. I've sit there and say, nah, this guy ain't worth the shit. And I said it with Spillane. I wasn't happy with Spillane, bro. And then I got bounced when I was happy with Garoppolo. I was happy with Minshew. And I said, I took it. He sucks. He ain't doing it right. I did the same thing, bro. I correct myself all the time. Real content creators will do that. Real ones. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, everything's cool. 12-win season. We're gonna smash. We're gonna do this." Nah, bro. I'm not gonna say that to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you want me to do that, then I'll be just like every 14,000 fucking other Raider shows, bro. I'm sorry, man. That ain't me, bro. I'm just done, bro. I'm done. I'm just done with the overhype. It's like, oh, we're gonna be this, we're gonna be that, we're gonna be this, we're gonna be that, we're gonna ball out, we're gonna do this, we're gonna boom, 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 and then everything is wrong. And then I really gotta contradict myself on the way I think. We did not look good last year, and as long as we look better as a football team, fuck, I'm be happy. You know, just our 4 wins last year, just with Pete Carroll coming in and his staff, 2 more wins, bro. That's 6. What can the team do now? Top that. Give me 4 more wins as a team. I'll be cool with that. I'll be ecstatic. And if we play better, we have 100 and something yards a game rushing, and we got a good quarterback percentages. We got 100 quarterback percentage. We get turnovers. We score rushing touchdowns, bro. We had 6 rushing touchdowns last year, bro. That's embarrassing. We have more than that on the Pee Wee team I was coaching 2 years ago, bro. And that's all we did was run the football. It's embarrassing. That my team is, I'm balanced, bro. Good to bad. I'll tell you what's up, bro. But everything, I can't be all Mr. Goody Two Shoes, bro, and give you bullshit. I'm not gonna do that. And I'm not just making up shit, bro. It's in there. Look, that's your phone, bro. What were the Raiders rushing last year? Be 32nd, 31st. Somebody was worse than us. And there you go. I don't think that Pete Carroll, with his resume, would come out a scapegoat or anything. Yeah, he's not gonna be a scapegoat, bro. You take this job to fuck around. That's why when I hear content creators, oh, it's gonna take a couple of games for these dudes to be ready. You think Pete Carroll's doing that shit? I'm not saying you are, bro. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's saying we're, but he also told me and looked straight in the fucking camera and said, "I'm not here for the long run. I'm gonna do this shit now. So let's go. Change what we lost." And did we do that in the DB room? Are you satisfied with what we did with Eric Stokes and Lonnie Johnson and shit like that? Are you confident that we can cover people, the Worthies and the Hollywood Browns and the fucking CD Lambs we have to play and the other dude they got from Pittsburgh? You know, do you think that we could do that? So, and we got rookies out there that are going to cover Worthy, that 4.2 speed. He blows us up the last year. He's a rookie. So what we gonna do for that? Well, we didn't win a game in our division, bro. Let's top that. Win a game in the division. Let me go see you Monday night in fucking Las Vegas and go see you win a fucking division game, and I'll be happy than a motherfucker, bro. I'll change my way a little bit when I see you. Get over the top, beat New England. Same strategy, same shit. Chip on your back with the old coach. Let me see what you got. Put it down on these fools. Let me see what Pete Carroll could do. We're gonna find that out. We just can't assume. You can't sit there because it might not pan out. Then what you gonna say? Everything's good at two shoes. Then I'm preparing myself, bro. I'm preparing you to say, hey, it ain't all good right here, but we're we all right. You know what I'm saying is that we ain't got a Wilkins, but we got like Luka get in there and make do. Okay, but where's the top notch guy we could go get with all this money? We were so happy that we had $100 million, and then we're satisfied with low budget shit. Backups coming in that he's gonna get the chance. It happened with Spillane, but I told you I didn't like that in the beginning. He grew on me. Spillane grew on me, bro. I'm not trying to argue with it, bro. It's all good, J-Ro. It's all good, bro. I just want people to. I have faith, bro. My faith is there, bro. But I watch it. I love my team, bro. I was miserable when we got Garoppolo. Yeah, me too. I was happy, but I ended up to be miserable, and I got shit for it, bro. And I took it. Oh, Paul's back talking shit. That's yet to be seen. You don't want to go out there and sign an old washed up veteran just for a name. When have we done that? I don't want washed up dudes. J-Ro, I want to get the dudes that are young and getting their second contract and pay them that people don't want to pay them. I don't want washed up dudes. But that's what we end up with, that we got to say it. You know, people say we got a problem at another receiver because got a rookie starting over there. Give him a chance, let him roll out there, make mistakes. I'm cool with that. If that's what you're going to do, then do it. But if you're going to complain about it and say, man, this guy's a rookie, not getting it right, get somebody else to do it. Why deal with it if you want to win, bro? If I'm negative, Paul, don't watch me, bro. There you go. That's yet to be seen out there somewhat. I don't want to watch the players, though. Man, boy, you just say anything, bro. I'm saying that corner. Oh, you like the corner? You got well, who at corner? Who at corner? Red Paul, man, I question your I question your knowledge of the game, bro, and who you like. If he's a Raider, you love him. You'll buy his fucking jersey, bro. Buy his fucking jersey. Paul Ramsey is better than Bennett. I was saying let's get Bennett, but I knew we weren't. He too much money. He deserves the money he gets because he's Jalen freaking Ramsey. I don't think Jalen Ramsey's washed up. But we're at the point that we're saying, hey, I don't want it to be mid-season, bro. And we're over here saying, well, we should have did this. But I'm down. I told you who I'm down with. I'm down with JB, and I'm down with DCAM. That's what I'm down with. They're young. They tackle what everybody wants to do. And then they cover. They got thrown out there. We got a young corner that's big and that's more Pete Carroll stuff, but he has to roll with the experience. And Eric Stokes is not. He's experienced as a backup. But Jalen Ramsey can cover, bro. Jalen Ramsey doesn't have no problem with that. And people will tell you that. He's going to cover this year wherever he's at. But I ain't the only one that said, let's get Jalen Ramsey. But then why are we saying, let's go get Jalen Ramsey? Why are we saying, let's go get? Why are people saying, I'm not the only one, bro. J-Ro, go to other spots. There's other people saying that our DB room is cool. But you know, I don't care what ESPN says about our team, or I don't care what the NFL or PFF says about our DB room. But I think both of them has a 32nd in the league. Look at it. Why is that, bro? The names? Come on. It's not new. It's not new, bro. Look. Get some information. Oh, free agents, they ain't shit out there, bro. Well, it's done with. It's done with. We got who we got. We got to roll with it. But that's why I'm talking about it, bro. That's what I'm talking about it, bro. Look who we got. And look at the experience they got. And look at what they've done, bro. Look at what Eric Stokes done. He had 1 year. Last year was he was in a lot of games because Jair, he wasn't starting over Jair Alexander. And he went in there, did a good job. But before that, bro, and he doesn't get PBUs, bro. He doesn't get picks. And he just, to me, that his stat show, and then I'm not really a stat type guy, but I'll look at him. And I'll deviate. Oh man, maybe this guy. But if you've been in the league 4 years and if you've been in the league 4 years and you got the stats you do, and you are what you are already. There ain't no changing that. And you can get better, and you could be in another situation, and I believe in that. I believe in all these guys that are new, and all these guys are new. And bringing up to what J-Ro said, I think that he is a savant as far as DB room, and that we'll get our corners better. But we're so young, bro. We're so young there, and it's crazy to think that those young guys are gonna. And just look at our schedule, bro, and look who we got to go against. And I don't want to hope, but I'm predicting that they'll play well. But just the concern of going to be, hey, why are we? There's something that these coaches say we're going to roll with these guys, you know. And I look at it's like Eric Stokes never been a starter unless he got brought in to back up. I'm giving up to JB. I'm giving up to DeCarry because those guys work and they showed me that they got it. I haven't seen Darian Porter, bro. I haven't seen him. I've seen Eric Stokes. I've seen Lonnie Johnson. Well, what Lonnie Johnson does, I've seen him as a gunner, damn good gunner. Tell me different. He's pounding that. I accepted, dude. J-Ro, I accepted what we got, but you gotta say there was somebody there was people out there. Shaquille Griffin we brought in. What was the problem there? Shaquille Griffin has the experience and the stats to play corner for us right now and play more than the guys we have on the field, more than Stokes. We brought him in, and he played in Seattle. Was that money? Because he went back to Seattle. J-Ro, I'm sure he does, bro. That's why it's so weird to me being a corner guy. He sees something in these dudes, but I'm not. Just because Pete Carroll is a savant of the cornerback room doesn't mean that the way I feel about that cornerback room is different. Pete Carroll made that team. Gus Bradley was a defensive coordinator. It was Gus Bradley coverage that did that. Gus Bradley is responsible for calling that defense. Pete Carroll has other things to worry about. Pete Carroll's calling the defense. The corners are him. Who is it? He wasn't better than what's in our future. Who is, bro? Who is, bro? J-Ro? Paul? Fucking Lonnie Johnson fucking sucks, bro. If Lonnie Johnson's in the game, bro, well, you better watch out and be worried because you got a career special teamer fucking playing. Nicky T. Gus Bradley was that Legion of Boom defense. Right? He was a defensive coordinator at Legion of Boom. You not giving no love for that. Gus Bradley was a proprietor of that. Everybody knows that, bro. It might have been, hey, this guy is that, but he co-signed on a lot of shit. If Gus Bradley wasn't the defensive coordinator, then you think Pete Carroll would have did it by himself? No, Gus Bradley was a mastermind of that too. And he's known for his coverage. He's a zone guy. We had him. He played zone. We had a leading tackler, I believe, in the NFL when he was there. That Perryman kid. That's why he follows him around, bro. That's why these guys follow him around. That's why Ngakoue follows Gus Bradley around because they produce when he's there. That team wasn't that good, Nikki. That team. So we made bad decisions personnel wise. We couldn't get the guys that Gus Bradley wanted. It needed time, bro. Just like the Boom, it needed time. Through time, those guys took over. Bigger, stronger, faster. They had pass. Just the overall defense was dope. That's what we need to get. Do we have those guys on our team, bro? It's new. But Patrick Graham, none of these guys break the ice for me that's gonna pee, the guys that he had on Legion of Boom. None of them are. We can say, oh, this guy's just like Sherman. No, he's not. No, he's not. Can be. I hope so. Can be. I hope so. And if you can't, and if we have a problem saying that he can be, or I hope so. I don't like saying hope. We say that too much as Raider fans. With hope, I wish, I hope, fuck that. I'm done with that. Do it. Get the guys to fucking do it. And I know you can't get all of them at once, but you should have known that there was guys there that could have at least sprinkled in to make it better. J-Ro goes, I'm with you, Coles. I'm not going to be too high on this team before I see it, but we cannot sit here and act like there aren't smart football people calling the shots right now. They are smart, dude. I like what we're doing, bro. I like what we're doing, but we got to look and see the way we're doing it, bro. I have a concern why these guys are just one-year guys, because we did that. And all the one-year guys, the guys we should have signed and the guys that we should have had, a couple guys we could have left. Like, I was cool with Diablo leaving, okay? Diablo had inconsistencies in his game. So we get Jamal Adams to take over that line, to take over that guy. What about our linebacker we got? Why don't we get a linebacker to do it? Why we got to get a guy that had been out the league, that Pete Carroll had a relationship with, that balled out as a safety, and bring him in to take what Diablo did? Why don't we get a guy that was just maybe a tad below what Hobbs is, or just sign Hobbs? Hobbs was the best at what he did. Yes, he got injured. Yes, he wasn't there, but when he was in there, we could tell that Hobbs was there. Morig was getting better, got overpaid. Has Chin produced what Morig has done for our team? Maybe he might. That's the most. I don't talk shit about Chin because I agree with that pickup. I agree with Chin being there. But all these linebackers we got that stop the run, bro. What about the problem that I escalated so in depth that we're gonna sew up that problem we have in the middle? You know, tell me that, J-Ro. What are we gonna do about that middle that we've been saying for the last 5 fucking years? What are we gonna say about that? Leaky, what are we going to do about that problem we have in the middle of the field? Just because Pete Carroll's here, it's going to change? You still got Patrick Graham. And Patrick Graham couldn't do it. With the athletes that we had there, with Abs there, with Morag there, these guys were better? Statistically, are they? Is Chin just like Morag or better? Moore's younger. He's not going to play this like so we're asking somebody to do something he's never done. You see that? When has Jamal Adams played well linebacker? We're excited about it. I want to see it. But when has he done that? When has he had the responsibility of being a linebacker? With a busted up quad. Out of football last year. I understand he has a great name. I don't see it. That's just me, bro. Only us would say, oh, he's going to ball out. Only us. I'm skeptical about it, bro, because it's like bringing fucking Diablo back. Maybe those guys, you know, didn't win anything with them because we had a fucking sorry ass team, bro. So you're telling me that Hobbs ain't balling out, that JB didn't ball out, DCam didn't ball out for what he was there for, and all these new guys, Lonnie Johnson and Eric Stokes, are gonna. That's what we're saying now. No, Bill, I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way. And if something happens to them, look what's behind them. Rookies and nobodies. That's how they rank in this 32nd league, bro. That's what you think, bro. But tell me where Chin was decorated as a cover guy. And Chin can lay the wood. Any safety has to. I'm skeptical about that, bro. I'm skeptical about that. Palomar was in there and the same shit happened. But I hope Palomar plays free. But that strong guy needs to cover tight ends. He needs to cover he needs to go. I don't expect him to go down and get running backs because they probably have too many yards, but I expect him to sew up that. But that was our problem, bro. And we had Morek there. We had Epps there. We had Palomino there. We had all these guys to drop back and said that they could. And for the last 4 or 5 years, we ain't did shit with that. Tight ends have masterful games against us. Career games. They get paid when they play the Raiders up the middle. But all in all, bro, I hope Jeremy Chinn's great. I have a problem with Jeremy Chinn being there. I seen the dude. I don't have a problem. I'm rooting for him. So you're saying, what are you saying, Leaky? So you're saying if Gus Bradley was our defensive coordinator, we're going to be ranked number 1? Not in this. Not with these guys. He needs his own guys, bro. And so if you're saying we got guys like Legion of Boom, no, we don't. Not even close. Maybe Darian Porter's close to that. He fits the bill, but we haven't seen him yet. I can't say nothing about Darian Porter, bro, that he's gonna ball out in the pros because we haven't seen him. And if he's out there, we're gonna fast. We're gonna know fast how good of a corner he is. But he's have to learn on the quick. And then if you don't think that's an issue, that he's beating out veterans that we got, then that's a problem, bro. That's an issue. Okay, Darren Porter started. Fine, he's a rookie. He balls out. He's going to go through the same treatment that JB did when he begun and what DCam did last year, right? So put those guys in and let Darian get in there and rotate with them. And we're going to be that young. But I'll be goddamn if I see Eric Stokes out there starting when he never did in his whole fucking career. Unless somebody got hurt. And I better not damn sure see a career gunner starting for me in the secondary. That's bad, bro. That's bad. So if you could get that, bro, it's not negative. It's just saying, hey, just look, bro. Damn, it finally hit me after 30 years of the biggest problem as a regular organization is hiring the wrong coach or GM. If they would just sign Coach Gravy, we'll be definitely 3. Nah, bro. I love Pete Carroll and what they did, bro. I was AP all the way, bro. Probably just like you. He convinced me, bro. I like what Spike Tech do. I just question from the get, Night Owl. If you watch from the get of free agency, bro, I was questioning what they was doing because what we lost, bro, I didn't think we recouped that. I didn't think we recouped what we lost. When we lost Hobbs, bro, there's nobody like him in the NFL, bro. I don't know if you weren't seeing what I seen, but everybody in the game was saying that he was the best slot corner. He just wasn't there. And it's hard to minimize the injury. It's hard to say that Hobbs was this guy when he wasn't there. And I get off that, but we haven't replaced that. We haven't replaced that. And saying that, Epps was gone early. And Epps was a good safety for us, a leader of our secondary. We don't have no veteran leadership like that. Stokes is the leadership guy. Oh, he's not, bro. He's a career backup. He was a backup to a guy that we could have got. Jair Alexander. Couldn't beat out Jair Alexander for fucking 4 years. 3 years he was in Green Bay. But we got him. And I just don't want to see him out there. And Thornton could say all he wants about Eric Stokes. I don't give a shit what he said because he's a rookie. And if he thinks Eric Stokes is balling out, he might be. But I just can't grasp that. I can't grasp it. It's me. I'm not gonna be whoop de whoop. This is tight. I could do that with certain players, but at secondary, I gotta watch and see, bro. I gotta wait and see what I say. What happens, bro? Because I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy what we have out there, but I'm expecting them to play well. But I gotta say, I'm not gonna bullshit you saying, I'm not gonna bullshit you and say, yeah, they're doing balling, but And inside, I'm saying, nah, I'm not with this. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Everybody got upside, J. Rowe. Everybody got upside. We ain't got new dude. We ain't got no dudes that got it, except for Max. The only one that has it in the Max, the game changer, Max on defense. Again, hate AP out the gate. I knew it was a huge mistake. I was digging what he was saying in the intern role. It sounded hella good. Convinced me. It took me a while, but he convinced me. But then went gone. And then that's why I'm so like hesitant, bro. You know, I was tired. I'm tired of being promised and promised all this shit, and then nothing happens. Even though it's Pete Carroll, even that cannot change me from contradicting and saying, "Oh, this is all good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be dope," and not saying, "Well, am I gonna make a fool of myself saying this and that?" I'll make a fool of myself if I want to, but damn, man, it's tough. It's tough. But I hope I'm wrong, bro. J-Roll, Night Out, I hope I'm wrong, bro. And you're probably saying I hope so too. But you know, I got my implements that I'm gonna tell you what I feel, and you could exchange this is dope, man. Exchanging this with me is dope, bro. And I'm not trying to win an argument. I'll agree with you if you're right. Just like upside, J, bro. We got a bunch of upside on our team, bro. We got a bunch of it. And these guys gotta work. We have a lot of work. And I hope it shows up. These young guys in the secondary, I hope it shows up. The age is there, man. The experience is there. Is way low. And the minutes of play, you know, I know Stokes had the longest tenure. Maybe DB or something like that, but I just hope I'm wrong. If anybody would tell you that, I hope I'm wrong about everything. Then we could we can roll with the Raiders together. But I'll be rooting. I'm not gonna sit there and say, "I told you." I said that already. I'm not gonna say, "I told you," but you gotta know. But anyways, man, I love you guys, man. Thank you for being here with Coach Gravy. Might do tomorrow. Never know. On a quick kick it with Gravy, man. We're going on 4 hours. Night Out, J Rowe, my boy Mike. Shoot, it's with J Rowe and then even Paul, man. Leaky, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. My Mike Guerrero. There was a couple of people, my boy Dart. J-Ro and them was getting at me. You got Alec, man. What's up? Rock, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here. John Studios, what's up? But my opinion, man, earlier in the show, Cool Kev always dark. See, you guys gonna make me take a nap. But anyways, everybody that was there, man, that came up, we had almost close to 40 in the house, bro, talking this real game, bro. I'm gonna check out on all the information I could get and see how this receiver DB room did, and check out the offensive line. I know that the press conference came out. It's mostly special team guys, and that's important too. So maybe Lonnie Johnson was up there, man, the gunner, and probably said some good shit. Maybe you guys will agree on that. Raider Park can see that guy. So anyways, I want to thank you guys for being here. Coach Gravy early in the afternoon brunch. Tomorrow, man, I'm going to have a stogie with you guys, do some coffee earlier to see what's up. Peace out, man. Raider Nation.